OPC
Sure.
could be in on this right now.
I'm
If
not.
Baby Crack is exposing your plan.
No, you do remember that this was your idea. I just had the connections when I heard you say that you wanted to go on. I'm like, you know what? I worked to get these connections. Somebody should use them.
Okay. I'm
And
just getting nervous now thinking about it.
Yo, OPCdon, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
How many men have you helped with your connections?
I have helped. Okay, like Lalo, I bought his mic. I did some things to try to help his channel grow.
Not a connection. It's more of like just to give us some money. But okay, I hear you. Keep going. Sorry.
Well, so the problem with whatever is that he will not let guys on unless they have a big following. The easiest people to get on, the only people you can get on the show are the girls.
Oh yeah, that actually does foil my whole point. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I mean, you actually, Darius, you might be big enough. I don't know how many followers you have, but you have to come with some clout, or Brian just won't.
I'm like Destiny's little boy. It's like
Darius, you should come on the same time that I'm on.
No, yeah. I don't think I could. I'm not that cool.
I mean, you can still send. You can still send. Ava can help you, and like
you can be my friends that I want to bring on.
Yeah, and even if she can't like get you on the show with her, she can still talk to Brian and say, "Hey, check out this guy's channel and see somebody you'd be interested in."
Yeah, I really don't think he's gonna say yes. I think that's like very much different content.
I mean, typically he wants people that are have content that's related to dating. It's just he did early on in the show. He let people on that were kind of nobodies, and he just said it failed. It always failed.
Yeah.
So he won't do that again.
Yeah.
Pretend to be a hooker, and Darius can be your.
So the thing you could do, which actually would be kind of a gimmick, is if you claimed to be a woman and just showed up and you were a guy, and he couldn't really. I mean, I guess he'll check you out. He'll check out your Instagram page. There needs to be pictures of you. They're pretty careful of being catfished. But
yeah, I'm a pretty like jacked individual. Like it's gonna be hard for me to pretend I'm a woman. Like it's just like.
But what I mean is like Gorlock. Brian doesn't do his research. He thought Gorlock was a woman when she showed up. He saw her somewhere.
No, about that. I thought they were funny looking.
Well, I mean, it would be more
about what they had.
It would be more of a prank to get on, but I mean that actually might get you on the show if you just wanted to get on and get some clout. It'd be a stunt. But
yeah, I'll look into gorging myself into becoming a 700-pound wildebeest. I'll consider that, brother.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying if you made a fake account, a fake Instagram account, and you could possibly get yourself on the show. But
I know a lot of like literally any woman that has any sort of media following can get on that show. It's not.
Yeah. I mean, Lauren De Laguna said anyone with tits.
Lauren De Laguna's what?
Lauren De Laguna got on the show, and she just basically said anyone with tits can get on that show.
Yeah,
that was her perspective on it. Yeah, Marielle Taylor. This is the real OPC.
That is the real OPC.
Yeah.
Will the real OPC please stand up?
I am. Yeah. So, anyways, I just didn't want you to get panicked, Ava. I think you're going to be fine. And you contacted through all the right channels. This isn't a setup. Yeah. If Brian, yeah.
Are you there? Or are you being a pussy?
Nick, the turtles have all gone back to the ponds. They get babies are going to hatch in September, and then a bunch more will get squished. But yeah, I can't. They're too many, too small to catch.
So OPC, are you going on prawn test now?
He's asked me to, but he is on vacation until the 26th, I think. I don't know. I've been debating, like, do I really want to do? What's the benefit of doing a big Thorp expose and dropping all the dirt? It's just going to make like them get riled up and trash me again. I would just rather, like you mentioned, just get off Discord and walk away. I'm kind of thinking that might be. I mean, I want to talk to Pronces. Pronces wants to build this channel, and he thinks it'll be controversial, and he's excited to do it. But like at the end of the day, like how does that benefit me?
Maybe you could say, give me 5% when you become successful.
Well, I mean, I just would rather spend my time on my own channel and just like let the Thorpe stuff lie.
So
I mean,
I'm
yeah,
showing.
you know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna either fail or succeed in the next couple. Like this court stuff is gonna make or break the Thorpes. You know, they'll either not have a channel or, I mean, I don't know. I really don't know how it's gonna clear out for them, but I don't feel like I need to waste a lot of time trying to take them down. You know, they're kind of burning their own house down on their own. You know, their own actions are coming back on them. So I don't know. I don't. I don't want to back out on my agreement with the process, but you know, the more I think about it, it's just like why, you know, why make a big expose on them? Because
Am I lagging? Hello?
yeah, we hear you now, Darius. I think
Oh
you're
my
muted.
god. Hold on, wait, hold on.
So Darius, what's your take on this? Would you do a big expose, give all the dirt on the Thorpes?
Why
Hope
are
she's
you
gone.
doing the expose?
Who, me?
Yes.
Just because I spent so much time with them and like I know about the toilet and I don't even know what kind of questions they want to ask, but they're getting questions together. Francis has got I guess he started in his Discord to get.
My bad. What are you talking about? What am I on your team for? What did you say?
I just wondered what you thought about me doing. Like I've been asked by the process to go on and do a tell all about the time I spent with the Thorpes. You know, just kind of to drop all the dirt. And yeah, everybody in chat is telling me to do it, but at the end of the day, it's like I just want to get on with my life. You know what I mean? You know.
Yeah. Maybe if you're in here, like talking to me about it, maybe you kind of want to get it off your chest because,
No,
like, if I wanted to get on with something, I would just never speak of it. You know what I mean? So
that's
I
kind of
probably wouldn't like.
well, that's kind of what I was leaning, but because I was up here anyways, talking to Ava, trying to tell her not to get scared about the show.
Yeah, but you know how low key, like I'm not even trying to like bash on you, bro. Like even Ava's like kind of like Storp adjacent. So if you're following Ava and you're trying to completely avoid Grace stuff, it's almost kind of impossible. I even realized that last night when I was talking to her, and I was like, "There's like no way." Like Ava, I saw her in the chat, whatever, that responded to the most recent thing. I didn't watch the video, but I saw Ava in the comment section. Ava's very much like tied to the Thorpes. So if you were someone that's like, oh, I want to like kind of stay away from it, I don't really care. You probably just wouldn't
Yeah.
even be in this space. You get what I'm
Well,
saying? So
well,
I feel
what?
like you want to get it off your chest, and then probably after that, you'll genuinely not care. You know what I mean?
Additionally,
Yep.
it would someone says, and I think they said this is a way to close the chapter of your life and correct the fake news about you.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
I really don't care. Like my skin is thick enough. I don't care if people call me a scat goblin or whatever. You know, but like I saw it with you guys. That's kind of why I'm talking to you guys because you guys did something on the Thorpes today, so they have to respond to it. And then you did something. It's like a never ending cycle. It's like at some point you just have to walk away and say, you know what?
Well,
I've just had enough.
like okay, so no, I know what you mean, and if you get in that little cycle with but I think genuinely like you don't have to like even like they did something today or whatever yesterday. I don't even know what the fuck today. It was something in the last 24 hours, but I didn't even watch. I'm dead. I want you to know I'm so serious. Didn't watch a lick of it because I was like, why the fuck do I care about what their opinion is, and why am I ever going to respond to it? So I didn't
Yeah.
even like think. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go in here and be like, yo, did you see they did that? I can't believe they think this, and this because I genuinely don't fucking care what they think. The only thing I care about they think is if they're gonna actually commit suicide. Then I'm actually giving a fuck about anything they have to say. Until then, I don't give a fuck. So I think you personally,
Yeah.
you are in the mindset right now where you if they would respond you would need something to say or whenever they talk about like bullshit you probably have some sort of an effect and you're like I need to stop myself but I feel like if you just say it say what you need to say, and then literally just like turn everything else off. You'll forget about. You literally won't even care in like 2 weeks, bro.
Well, that's the thought. Is like, what if I just if I just don't say it? I just turn everything off.
I mean, you could, but then you have to. That's what you're trying to do. That's what you're doing right now, and I don't think it's working. You know what I'm saying? Not like in a. I'm sure you're like a happy guy, but I'm just saying like you're hanging out in Ava's community thing, talking about
Actually,
this. And it's like
this was just once this whatever thing is done. Like, no offense, Ava, but I'm done with Ava too. I'm just like, I'm closing down. See, the OPC account was always just like a throwaway account. And so like my real channels are all, so I thought it was just before I wind this stuff down, Ava mentioned, I'd really like to get on whatever. And so I contacted her and said, I can get you on. That's something I can do before I shut all these accounts down. Because most of the people that know me from whatever know me under this account. So once this account is gone, a lot of those connections go away with it.
And so you're just gonna disappear off the face of?
No, I've got my other channels that I want to grow. This OPCdon thing was never going to be. Yeah. And see, Eric W. has given me a guilt trip. I do want to help Prawn with this channel, but I just thought, like, do I really want to be a part of the Thorpe universe? Do I really want to be like Rizza or Tenderman or any? I can just walk away right now and. Yeah, like I really don't want to be a part of this whole thing. I want to do my own stuff, run my own business, and kind of walk away from this. I'll think about it. I mean, I got to talk to Francis, but I just thought because Darius, I wonder if Darius regrets ever engaging with the Thorps.
I think personally that as I've now gone through things and the way I'm processing shit and I'm working on my mental in a better way, I think that the Thorps are unfortunately the worst way for me to realize it, but they made me kind of like realize people don't change and some people are just actually just pieces of shit.
Yeah,
because like they have like everything at their disposal to be good people, but they like physically can't be good people. Like it's just not like in their bloodline or something to do a good act that they don't see as self-serving. And that was just like something I needed to process for other people I meet in my life that I'm just like, I just shouldn't waste my time on this person. There was like some good moments when I literally met Grace. Like I've said this before, like one of my top like 5 streams was when I first met Grace, and that was really cool. And it actually was really nice because I think that was the first person I ever met like that was completely random from the internet. Like I had no understanding of what they were, but I was planning to do content with them more. And it was very fun for like 24 hours until these people felt slighted.
Your echo was like really bad.
I'm working on it. Hang on.
I felt really bad when they felt slighted, and then like I was like, okay, maybe I did something wrong, maybe I needed to fix something, maybe I just approached this weird. So then I did other stuff, and I was like, okay, maybe I did this wrong, and I just whatever. And maybe the issue is me, but at this point, it's like 3 times I've tried something. Either I don't work well with these people ever, or these people aren't worth me interacting with ever in my life. But there is no other solution to where I do content with them in any sort of healthy way outside of maybe what I'm doing right now, where I tell them pretty much to go kill themselves, and then I don't directly engage with them at all.
So have you followed what happened with Lalo, Darius?
No, but that guy is mentally ill.
You think he's mentally ill?
So that's what I've been thinking about that today.
Yeah, he's
so
pretty
what
mentally
happened is,
ill. There's a delay.
So that Lalo comes from a conservative Christian family, and he's hidden from his family that he does anything on YouTube. That family doesn't know about the Thorps. They don't know about any of his online activities. And someone recently contacted his father and told him about the bong hit, and about, I can't remember, something else. It was on somebody. I only heard it through rumors because I'm not on the Discord anymore. But apparently that's gonna, like, he lives with his father. If his father finds out he's been lying to him, I mean, I don't know what kind of ramifications there will be. Likely his whole church is gonna find out about all this stuff. And I knew as soon as they did the bong hit, that video needs to come down, because Lala wants to be a lawyer and like law school. There's just a million reasons why they should have taken that video down, and they're not going to. Thorps are going to leave it up, and that's what made me think.
I was reacting to that. I think it was my last stream. And in the PC, they were just coping about how he's being hypocritical, asking him to take it down, and I'm like, it's just so disrespectful of them not to take it down when he asked them.
So that's what made me think, like, yeah, you just need to get away from these people, because it's like there's no interaction with them that's a positive interaction. It seems like, I tried to help them fix their RV.
OPC, you're echo crazy.
Okay.
Bro.
Sorry, I'm still working on it. I think I have YouTube open in another tab. Let me go find it. Anyways, I didn't really actually mean to get into this conversation with you guys. It was actually just to talk about, get crack. But
this is interesting, though. Oh.
I mean, yeah, there is because Lalo is somebody that's given them, I think, content, has been there with them through very skeptical and sketchy and weird times, and to treat him in a way that's like, okay, so even let's say theoretically, like it's Lalo didn't should be able to. Well, actually, sorry. The video shouldn't be taken down because maybe it will help Lalo. Why would you? Lalo just asked. Why would you not even just hide the video and just see if maybe changes his mind later? It's just they try to impose their own values and their own weird stuff on other people, and Lalo's trying to keep hiding it, and he wants to keep doing this stuff, but Grace and Ben both think he shouldn't be doing that, and they either have a right to just post it and he should just fuck off, which I guess they do. It's their content with him in it. But yeah, dude, that fucking
the right thing to do, though, is to respect his wishes. It's just one live stream.
Well, I mean, if they don't want to burn that bridge, it's treat him the way you want to be treated.
Well, no, that's how they don't. The thing is, they have an attitude where it's very hey, this is just who we are. If you don't like it, then fuck off. But they're just hoping that these mentally ill people will just kind of hang around and be their friend or be hate watchers or do stuff like this, which is what I'm doing, which is still talk about them indirectly, because any sort of emotion to them that's reciprocative isn't hate, confusion, whatever. It's love or care for them in some sort of way, which is not very self-realizing or something. It's just living in a weird delusion that they do.
So Ava, I'll ask you the same question. If you could go back and never interact with the Thorps, would you go back and do that, or are you glad that you interacted with them?
I'm glad I interacted with them because of the people that I met through it, and that I got to start live streaming because of it. But I mean, maybe that's also a bad thing. I don't know. But I feel like it has made my life more interesting.
Yeah.
I think, but that's pretty much the extent of the positive.
Yeah, I'll talk to the Broncis about it, because I know he's trying to build a channel and he wants the controversy. He wants to hear the dirt. But the more I thought about Lalo and just everybody they've interacted with, nobody came out a winner. And it's maybe just to walk away is the only way to win.
Yeah, nobody's ever. I don't think anyone's ever interacted with those people, and it's been a long-standing, healthy relationship. That's what I'm saying. It's even with the Ruby chick, I'm okay, when that crash out happens, it's gonna be funny.
You think there's gonna be a crash out happen? Because I feel like she's such a people pleaser.
It's gonna happen eventually, bro. It just happens eventually. That's just how it goes. It could be like literally the most dick sucky person. Like there's literally like I'm sorry, OPCdon is literally like a not you're not literally a pay pig, but you give them a surplus of money and do free favors for them a lot, and they still somehow manage to have issues with you. And it's just like literally every single person
because you
does something wrong.
disagreed with Ben's YouTube genius.
Yeah. So what Shamu said is they see if you are kind to them or if you do anything to help them as a weakness. He said that I never stood a chance. He said if you were if you wanted to help them, they automatically think something's wrong with you. This guy's weak. This guy's somebody we can prey on. And I mean, I don't know if Shamu. I mean, he's been around as long as anybody. He probably knows as much as anybody. But I mean, I'm just taking everybody's advice with a grain of salt. I might, and no offense to you, Darius, or you, Abe, I might not take your advice, but I do want to hear it just so that, I can consider all the positions that, that are out there.
Well, from what you're just saying, the only position it sounds like you should ever be taking is that you probably should just stop interacting with these people ever.
Well, the question is, do I go on with this interview with the process? I'd like to do it as a favor.
Isn't it literally on Grayson Ben's channel?
Nope. The process has started his own channel. He's trying to get over. He's like at 160 subs, and he's trying to just get. I don't know what his goal is now, but I think he's just trying. He's starting out from nowhere, and so he wants some help. And I like him. I like the guy. I'd like to see his channel grow, but I just don't know if I want to be, involved with the Thorpe drama anymore.
I feel like that's not the drama. It would just be like, because you have barely defended yourself this entire time. Like, it would just be you getting your word out there. And I don't know. I mean, is it just that you feel like you don't have anything interesting or left to say about them?
No, there's a lot of lies I'd like to set straight. But at the end of the day, if everybody believes those lies in the entire world, my life goes on just fine. But if I continue to engage with them, it's just sucking more energy and resources into something that, like I said, I wanted to help them build their channel. I think Grace is very talented. The way they were living, the conditions they were in, I felt like, so the day that I brought their generator cover back was because I was done with them. I didn't want to see them the next day. I just wanted to give them back the cover and drive away and never see them again.
Why were you done with them?
So that was the day I drove down. I told them exactly where I was going. I went down to the lot where we were going to drain the black tank, and they just drove by me. And then just instead of trying to find me, they just went to Dairy Queen. It's like, what a bunch of assholes. I just had enough of them. The next day I calmed down because I knew Hugh. So Hugh was supposed to come, and I know Grace likes Hugh, and no girl wants to have a guy she likes smelling her shit. And so I talked to some people and I said, you know what, I'm going to stick around until the toilet's fixed and the air conditioning's working. And I didn't actually make it till the air conditioning got to work, but I paid Grace $10 to install it herself. And so, I felt like I accomplished those two goals. I really have no need to interact with them anymore.
Okay. So I'm here. I missed the last minute. Apparently OPC's here on so what happened? What did I miss out on? I mean, it seems like you are saying that you have this process commitment. I'm wanting to see the interview. You ought to do the interview. Everybody wants to see it.
Okay, but if I just talk a bunch of trash about the Thorps, what does that accomplish, really?
Who cares?
I mean,
Well, he cares, man. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what he would admit he cares, though. That's the problem, bro. You say, I care a lot about this shit, and I care about what I'm getting told about on the internet. Say what you have to say, and then don't read any rebuttals. You just need to, learn self-control, nigga. After you go ahead and say what you have to say.
Darius, it's the opposite. He has to indulge. Just say, okay, you're obsessed with this 21-year-old chick. You love her. Okay, play into it.
So, Lalo, did you ever?
No, because then you're telling him to be.
Go ahead and just
you're trying to mold him into a character. Let him be a fucking you. Let him. Yeah. Actually, how old are you, bro?
I'm 21.
Ben has spread a lot of stuff about me that I wanted to set straight. Okay. But Lalo, I actually want to talk to you. Are you doing okay as far as your stuff being leaked to your dad?
Oh, don't worry about that.
So, like, will you be able to keep your channel? Will you be able to still live at your house? Like,
well, I mean, wouldn't I have lost it by now? What do you mean? What a stupid question.
Bro, they're like,
have you been arrested yet? I mean, I'm out here. Okay, no, it's all good. It's all kosher.
So do you regret your interaction with the Thorps? If you could go back and never interact with Grace, would you be glad? Would you take that offer?
I mean, what would I lose? What did I lose exactly? I don't know. No, not
well, I
really.
didn't know. I didn't know how this is going to affect your life. If your church, if everybody's going to look at you different because of that bong hit video.
Really doesn't play out that way. It just doesn't. It's kind of like the bottom line would be like, okay, so you like knew this girl that had an allegation of X and Y, and it's like, okay, well, who viscerally gives a shit? It's about, realistically as an adult, it's what you're providing now and not so much like what you were associated with in the past. And so like when you really harken back to other people's stuff,
are you not associated with in the past? Because like that's like a month ago, I think the bong thing was, right?
No, but what I'm saying is no. When this comes into question, like when it actually matters, let's say when I'm like in my late 20s and I'm trying to do something important and people say, oh, you took a bong hit when it was legal.
Oh, yeah.
An allegation. Oh, God. Okay.
I think
who really gives a shit?
Yeah, I mean, like 100%. Like, no one's for a fucking job interview is gonna care. But I think OPCdon's concern. Well, actually, no. I think he's kind of like being kind of gay about it a little bit. But like,
True.
I would be when I heard that he told me about your dad. I was thinking, oh yeah, like, aren't you like from a very Christian background? Like, wouldn't they be a little bit upset with you doing like stuff on the internet and doing bong rips for the telly? I mean, you're in college though, so who fuck cares? But like, also like, if they're sending bong rips, okay, now you're getting slapped on camera by this girl. Are you doing porn? That's where my mind would go if I was like your dad or something. I'd be like confused. But I don't know if he's like hip to be square or some shit, Like he might be like
no, the porn thing. I don't know. That's crazy. That's
well,
insane.
I don't know, dude. That could be, dude. If I saw my son getting slapped by like Grace and the way that you were getting slapped, I would assume it was some porn humiliation ritual shit, man. Not like shading, but like I was like, bro, that's like it's a 10-second clip. So I'm like, bro, it's like it looks like something custom requested.
Whoa there. Yeah, so look, I'm just trying to get OPC to do the fucking interview, okay? I offered my own services. I didn't indulge him, okay? We can talk about how apparently there's an allegation that you used pond water and like to like very gradually take the change the septic tank out or something.
No, that was Ben. So the place where there were two different places where I proposed to them to get the tank drained. In the state of Maine, to be legal to dispose of human waste, it has to be disposed within 300 feet of a property line. So there's a 35-acre property that had a pond in the middle. And I said, I can take it there. We'll bury the waste in the middle of the lot. It'll be more than 800 feet from all the property lines. And I said, there's a pond there we can flush the tank through. But when I actually took the RV myself, I took it to a different location. There was a hose. The only reason I used the buckets to flush the tank is because the bolt was trapped in the bottom. And so just a single hose pressure wouldn't be enough to dislodge it. So what I did is I filled 2 5-gallon pails. The entire tank would only hold 10 gallons. So I just dumped 2 pails in quickly to try to flush the bolt out. Ideally, I could have used a pressure washer, but I was working in the middle of the night and there were neighbors there. So I couldn't run a pressure washer. The best alternative was just to flush enough water through to carry the bolt out. Somehow they turned that into I was homeless, that I didn't have a house with a hose. Like, that's the kind of stuff that I wanted to set straight. But at the end of the day, like, I know where I live. I know what I do for a living. I really don't care what internet strangers think about me. And so it's like, why do I really care about defending myself from any of this other than helping Prawn,
Okay, so you're rebutting the allegation. You're saying that, yes, you didn't actually, you used the pond as a function of cleaning the shitter, but the pond, it was for a valid reason.
No, the pond, I didn't do the tank work at the lot with the pond. I did it at a different area where they work on cars. There was all kinds of equipment and stuff available to me there, but because I was doing it in the middle of the night, I didn't use all of it. But again, like, Ben turned it into, I was filling the tanks from a pond. which wasn't true, but he just never asked. And there's a lot of things Ben just, like, my family has no incest in it. That got spread that somehow there's a town nearby where there was incest, like in the 17 and 1800s. My family never lived in that town. But Ben turned it into, there's a lot of lies that have been spread, but like I said, I don't care. I know.
You do care. There's nothing wrong with caring. It's fine.
No, well, I mean, like, people are spreading lies about you. You don't like it, but it doesn't affect my life in any way. But if I get sucked into this stuff and become like a part of the drama, then that does affect
fun
my
at
life.
all. You don't think, like, rebutting it righteously, let's say theoretically defending yourself, saying like, okay, there's no incest in my family. In fact, when I cleaned your shitter at the pond, it was for a valid reason. I mean, these are powerful statements you can make.
Lalo, I did not clean the shitter at a pond. There was no pond on the property where I was cleaned.
That's in the middle of the night.
I paid for the two nights worth of two nights stay at the hotel. It was 120 something. That's why I offered the 300. She only asked for 200, but it was over 100 per night. I was just so sick of everything dragging for so long. I just decided, I don't care. I'm getting this bolt out tonight.
Wait, what's wrong with dragging it for longer? I mean, you could have great content like scuba diving and like eating lobster.
I had work that I was taking days off to spend time with the Thorps because I just felt like
But aren't you? Wait, hold on. But aren't you like a businessman? Like, does it really matter if you're taking days off work? Like, couldn't you presumably just delegate it to somebody beneath you?
No, right? Everybody works for somebody. I answer to the homeowners. The homeowners that I have contracted to do work for expect me to be there to do the work. The wealthy couple that owned the property where they stayed were the people I was working for at the time. They met Grace. They liked Grace. They were okay with me taking time away from their project. But at the end of the day, their project needs to be done. And so Ben was just like, you have all the time in the world. Sit down and talk to the stream. And I'm like, no, I have things I need to get done. You have some things that need to be done here. I was just sick of it dragging out forever. So I decided I'm taking this home. Come hell or high water, this bolt is coming out tonight. It got to be 9:00 a.m. The bolt was still not out. And so the plan was to take the tank out the next night, just to take the black tank out of the RV, shake the bolt out, put it back in, and return it to him. But that was the night they got swatted. So I had the chairs at that site. I had just taken them out of the walkway because I had to go through with the buckets all night. And like I said, I returned the chairs. Their AC works as good as it's gonna work. The toilet is fixed. I did my job. I really don't care about dropping a bunch of dirt on the Thorps.
Why would you even care about finishing doing that for them?
A lot of people told me. Yeah, a lot of people told me, like, just walk away. But I mean, even if you hate the Thorps, they're human beings. And like, I just saw Grace suffering in the heat. And like, Grace has a hard enough life as it is, especially if Hugh was coming. That's the other thing that they, the picking the flowers. And like, Grace was like, it was sort of dorky how he like told me where to pick them. The whole idea of the flowers is that there was an odor in there. And I just told her, like, go pick more of these flowers and like, bring them in and just like, it's nice. It makes it nicer. I just thought it was a nice thing to bring them to him. But the idea was that we got to get this place ready for ThorpCon. For Hugh, I at the time I thought Hugh was coming. And I knew Ruby and you, Ava, I didn't know if you were actually going to be there, but like the RV was a mess. And just this fellow, like if you see an animal living in bad conditions, like your heart goes out, you just want to see that situation better.
Animals aren't assholes.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's expound on that detail, OBC. So you picked some flowers off the side of the road because you had some dead time, presumably, is what Grace said. Okay, so what was your expectation as to how she would react to receiving these flowers from the side of the road? Which she's gonna like? Were you? I told her to say what?
I told her on the very first thing. I said, "Here's where these are. You should go get a lot of these and spread them around the RV and make the place smell better." But somehow it got turned into that I was attracted to her. I was trying to. In the very first, like, I don't want to talk shit on Grace. Actually, I'm actually not supposed to be saying all this. Is supposed to be Process's interview. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it for Process.
No, self a Process.
No, but
wait. Why don't you want to talk shit about Grace? Whatever. I mean, she's talked about shit on your face.
Yeah.
To your face. So what's the problem?
I just feel like two wrongs don't make a right. That's not who I am.
So you're saying she did something wrong, but you don't want to talk shit about
yeah,
Grace.
she knows what was on my face, and we were actually going to. The whole point was that it was the donut frosting, and we were going to have a paid members only stream, where it's like all these things that other people aren't privileged to, the members would be privileged to, and that's part of the reason why Get Crack pulled the support, because he was buying those memberships with the idea that they were going to do something with those memberships, so that they would have a steady, consistent income every month. And when they just wasted his money and did nothing with the memberships, that's what made him frustrated about, I invested a decent amount of money here to help you build your channel and have a steady income, and you threw that all away. And that's part of the reason why the donut frosting, like I thought in every stream, Ben talked about it later. That's the thing, is all this stuff was talked about on stream. So like, it's pretty easy to expose the lies. Ben was very impressed. He thought that I really had excrement on my face. And what he found out was that it was just a bit. He was like, hey, that was really cool. It was funny that you guys did that. And I was like, we have more up our sleeve. The plan was that every stream was going to have something like that, where you have to pay to either know in advance or know after the thing that the rest of the chat won't get to know. That's what you're going to get for your $5 a month.
So you were doing a Thorp WWE, and it was just Scat on your face as like.
Well, I mean, their business model sucks. I mean, they have to reply, like they're finding that out. If you're just relying on the generosity of other people, you have to give people something for their money.
Well, OPC, to build on your point, to be fair, Grace has posited and conjectured that off stream between the two of you alone, okay, this like fantastical moment in your head, okay, apparently you were talking about the algorithm most of the time, and she was complaining about it. But maybe if you're saying that their business formula, the lack thereof, is bullshit, then maybe you were trying to fix her and groom her into like actually doing something good for her business. Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, Grace does not need to live in the conditions she lives in. Grace is talented enough to support herself on YouTube.
Well, wait, hold on. What are those conditions? Like elevator pitch? What sort of living conditions does a pretty girl in her early 20s live in?
She's burning through her savings. They're living out of an RV. Like, she could be making a pretty decent, like, I know she doesn't want to be Mira. Mira's gone to law school, and she's doing YouTube because she can make more money. I think, like, I was not saying to do everything Mira does. I'm just pointing out, here's a young woman about your age who's doing a lot of the right things on YouTube and making a decent living doing so. And that was all I was trying to point out to her, is like, you don't have to, like, and it bothers her that she's burning through her savings. This is a source of stress for her. It's like, as the money keeps dwindling, her life is getting more and more stressful.
Who's Mira?
Mira, she's just a YouTuber that I found that she's not doing anything too special, like there's not, sometimes there's YouTubers that like are very talented on a certain instrument, or they're, everybody has to bring something to the table. This girl is just, she's smart, she's funny, she's kind of cute, and she just like lets people share parts of her life, and she's making a decent living. I think Grace is a lot more talented than this girl. This girl might be a little bit better looking. But I was just using her as an example.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was just using her as an example. As here's somebody about your age, about at your talent level, maybe a little less talented than you, who's making a decent living.
Okay, now, OPC, my question to you is, how much is you thinking that Grace is talented, more so just because you had access to Grace, versus just the fact that, oh my God, she's so talented, and nobody's ever seen it before? No, everybody knows this. Villanelle, everybody, like, the very first time I saw Grace, it was on Modern Day Debate, and I thought she was a turning point. You probably know the Turning Point girls. There's a handful. They're very talented. Yeah, I thought Grace was one of those. And so I saved her channel, went back and watched, and when I found out about all the family stuff, I'm like, whoa, this is not at all what I thought this girl was. But I don't know if you saw, like, Villanelle especially believes in Grace a lot. And a lot of her comments, she'll point to the points in the stream. I don't know if you saw the point where we got her that cigarette holder, and just Grace went into a bit, like right off the cuff, completely improvised, and it was really, really good. She's very talented, but the way that Ben wants to use her, or like I tried to say, like, you guys sit in these chairs. You're in a really beautiful vacation spot, and you sit in the chairs for 11 hours a day. You could do that in the parking lot at Warren. You're not making the most of your surroundings. You're not making the most of the RV. There's just so many bad business decisions that are being made, and I feel like Grace suffers because of it. And
My thought is if I could just give her some basic business advice to help get the thing turned around, like I would just feel like, I was glad to contribute that much to the cause and go on and build my own channel. And I did think there is something in it for me. If they can become successful, and I'm only 3 hours away, there might be a chance to collab or do something in the future. But for the most part, it was just because I saw so many things that were just so obviously being done wrong.
Like what?
Well, I mean, you've seen their channel. They're losing money. Like, they've burned through. I don't know if the rumors are all correct, but they've burned through over $600,000 on the YouTube stuff that they've done. Like, I don't know. I don't want to know their personal financial stuff, but they're hemorrhaging money. This is not a profitable endeavor. I mean, they're going to either have to stop doing it or something drastic has to. They can't keep doing what they're doing. They can't keep losing money at the rate they're losing money. But when I tried to talk to them about this, they were not at all open to change. So that made me think, you know what? This isn't a fixable situation. I'm just going to finish the toilet and the air conditioner and bid them goodbye and wish them the best. And that's why I actually, that's why I actually did. Sorry, go ahead.
Fuck. All right. We had a quick question, and this is just a quick 20-second little sequitur. Apparently, there's an allegation from Ben that somebody with Maine license plates allegedly tried to run him off the road or run him over.
Yeah.
Did you have any knowledge of this or?
I'm not going to let you steal the process interview, but no, I had no, and that was the last message I gave Grace. I have no idea who would have. I mean, there's a million license plates in Maine. I have no idea, and I've never contacted Courtney. I'm not supplying Courtney with a car to run Ben over. That's just ridiculous. And
would you have a opposition to contacting Courtney? Like, if you're in this position now, would you talk to her and maybe?
I just feel like I did my best to try to help. Like I said, she's a very talented young woman who could be doing very well, and it's just unfortunate that they're making all the wrong decisions, and so there's nothing I can do about that. It's it's a free country.
To another point. Now that you bring that up, is
no, I'm not answering any more of your questions.
I'm not asking you a question. Okay. I'm just going to say something.
Okay.
So basically, people had been saying that you were a Ben suck up for weeks, and I'm looking at the archive because I worked out a deal with Grace, and we got the archives back. Well, a lot of them, and because we were in a rush. But basically, the point being is that I go through some of these comments, and it's holy shit, you were anti-Ben this whole time, but seemingly just gleaming through what seemed to be your IRL interactions. You were the Ben ball washer, so to speak. And since the only person that we know that has washed the undergarments of Ben is Grace, infamously with the shit streaks, it seems like maybe the Scat Goblin was playing double faking and kind of pump faking this whole pro Ben angle. Maybe you hated him the whole time. Is that true?
Oh, see, you did ask a question, but I'll answer this one too. I have to deal with customers that don't know what they're doing a lot. So Ben, when we went to go and mount that antenna on the door, Ben was convinced the door is going to be solid. I know every door I've ever dealt with in any vehicle has been hollow, but Ben said he thought it was solid. So we bought the screws. It's so it gets so that I've gotten used to just going along with wealthy people's suggestions, even though I know they're wrong. And so again, because it was Ben's RV, he had a plan for how he wanted to mount the antenna. I let him do it his way until he realized, oh, yeah, you're right, the door is hollow. So there was some of that went on, but over time, I stopped being as patient. And I would go home and watch the streams and see all the shit he was talking about me. But at the end of the day, I just felt like when I watched the streams before, Grace is super hot, super stinky. I just feel like I have the ability to fix these things for her. I'm going to do that much. I'm not going to fix everything. If they had been grateful and nicer, I would have probably fixed more. But at the end of the day, I felt like those two things make it livable. If the water runs out over the microwave, that's their problem, not mine. But I felt like, especially because ThorpCon was coming, they're going to have guests. I felt like these were the two things that I wanted to accomplish before I walked away. People were telling me, probably a week before I actually just walked away from them, that I should not be doing anything more for them. But I did want to at least get those two things done. And at the end of the day, I didn't trick Grace into do it, but I bet them $10 they couldn't do it, and it got installed. So I was like, you know what, that's it. That's all I wanted to do, and that's all I cared about doing. So, at the end of the day, I just feel like that was a successful interaction, but I don't want to interact with them anymore.
Well, I mean, that brings up another quandary, because obviously
no. This is the problem.
No. I'm not asking. No. Okay, hands
down. You say this,
Look,
and then you ask me a question.
I'm not. I'm just going to talk, and you can choose to ponder on it. Look, the point being is that obviously, what I find a little bit incongruent with your pathology here is that you're talking about how apparently you put up with Ben as a customer, but yet Ben didn't pay you with shit, and then apparently, he was talking shit behind your back, not on your face this time, but behind you, and you put up with it over trying to help Grace. But then you're saying that you're not a Grace simp. Is that true?
Like I said, I like Grace's personality. I think she's an entertaining person. Until she started lying, I didn't know. Like, there's all these rumors. Was there incest? Was there not incest? And I even told her I don't care. Really, at the end of the day, I can see you're a person that could be doing better, and you're not.
You don't care if there's incest?
No, I do, but I don't need to know. I don't need to dig it. Like, all these people want to know. Was there or wasn't there? Yeah, like it's. I mean, I don't need to dig into her past. I don't need to know everything about her to like her as a person.
What was currently happening? Would you care, or is it like
I mean, yeah, I would. But I'm not going to dig into her. She used to say this earlier. Everybody wants to know her pussy's been. It's like it's not my business. I don't need to know that. I just know she's living in a hot RV that smells, and I have the ability to fix that. I mean, I would have. That's not really. That was sort of like the bait. They wanted that fixed. The thought was, if you come and get your RV fixed, you're going to have to listen to my algorithm talk. And I told her that when she came. I said, this is going to be part of the deal. I will fix your RV, but you're going to have to, but they didn't. They didn't want to listen to. And the thing that I sent the same thing to you, and it's sort of a shit test. That 2-page PDF is sort of a shit test. If you're too lazy to read that, then you're going to be too lazy to actually execute the changes that are going to take to, I know you said you read it, but I know you didn't take it seriously. If you understood that, you would have to change a lot about your channel. And so if you're too lazy to even read it, and I had this conversation with Ben, I'm like, I did not write that. That was written by the people who are actually designing the software and hardware that goes into the YouTube algorithm. And so if you're not willing to even take the time to listen to what they have to say, you're not going to make the changes that are necessary for you to be successful. And so as soon as I saw that was their attitude, they're just going to keep doing what they do. I probably could have just left then and said, this was a waste of time.
Okay, but why didn't you though?
Because the RV still wasn't fixed, and I still thought this is something I would at least like to leave. I don't want to walk away until these things. It was hot, and even in the wintertime, having that blower work will give them heat. There were times in the wintertime where they had to cuddle up, and it was cold. It was cold in the RV. Having heat and a functioning toilet and heat and cold is kind of like a basic human. Just out of human decency, you want everybody to have those things. And I thought, I'm going to stick around. As much as he's talking shit about me, as much as I don't want to waste any more time on this, I would like to see them have those things. And that's why I stayed as long as I did. But yeah, once I knew the algorithm talk wasn't going to change anything, I did feel like, this was a waste. I'm not going to affect any kind of change that's going to be significant in the Thorps' lives. But again, that's their choice.
Did that happen before or after they left to Maine, though? Because that's an important part. Because apparently there was this whole notion of they were going to drive up to you to get the chairs, and then you intercepted the whole thing.
Yeah, at that point,
did you become, bridge burnt wise?
I don't know when the bridge was actually that day when I brought them the generator cover. I was just ready to be done with them. I'm like, I don't want to see you tomorrow. I'm just going to give you this cover, and I'm going to leave, and I'm never going to, because they don't know where I live. You'll never see me again. I'm just so sick of you. And I mean, it wasn't really them, but it's just the whole situation that nothing ever got done. They always wanted to just sit in those chairs and talk to the stream. And I'm like, dude, I got a life to live. I got things I need to do. But the day that I brought the chairs down was when I got up in the morning. at church, but I saw that it said we're going to keep OPC from being charged with petty larceny, and I'm like, screw this. I am not, like, if you're going to threaten me with police action or whatever, I'm just getting you your chairs back and see you later. And so that's why it was worth the 6-hour drive to just say, there you go. There's your property back. We're done. That's kind of the way I felt. And even still, like, I would go back if they still want to do the bet. I think meeting with them one more time to decide who's got the better channel, I would do that. But they're not grateful people. They're not nice people. They're not people
so
that I want.
You're not going to talk to them until ThorpCon 2025.
I would like to settle. Right now things are not in. If they feel like I've done them wrong or whatever, like I would discuss the disagreements. But at the end of the day, they're not people I want in my life. If that makes sense.
Well, hold on. Let's try to get to the bottom of it, though. You don't want Ben and Grace in your life, or do you not want Ben and then Woodtick and Grace? Like, how does this even work? Because again, it seems like the fascination was with Grace, and you saw Ben as the bundle that you didn't want to have to deal with. No,
Grace is blatantly told lies, and I don't hate her, but I've just seen a side of her where it's like, yeah, you're not a nice person. You're not.
Okay, but again, hold on. Wait a minute. Okay, so you're saying Grace told lies about you and that you were, sucker punched by it. But I mean, has she not done that about Darius and other people like that in the past?
Well, that's the thing. Okay, again, were
you special or something? Like what was it?
No, I'm saying you're stealing the process's interview. But I mean, all along, there's been this big debate: is like Courtney the good one? Is Grace who's telling? Somebody's telling lies there.
Yeah.
When I talked to Grace's story made sense. I didn't know if it was true or false.
What story?
Her version of what happened between all the past 5 years, like Shamu and Shamu seems pretty reasonable. RD seems pretty they're like Riza and Tenderman. Like there's people that are just trolls. I don't trust. I don't think they're reliable people. I thought Shamu came across as being pretty reasonable. RD, I thought, he might be wrong in the facts, but he seems like he's not, doing this out of some kind of bad motivation. But when I listened to Grace's side of things, she told me stories about Shamu and about RD. And I felt like Grace's story made sense. I didn't know her enough to say, she could, if she was a lie, I guess what I thought was if she was telling me a lie, she's telling me a pretty good lie because I don't see any holes in it.
Okay, so did she deny the incest? Because you said you didn't dig into it at all. So did it just not come up or something, or?
Am I muted?
Yeah, you muted for like 10 seconds. Yeah, I asked you the question, remember?
I didn't hear it. I must have...
Oh yeah. I was saying, okay, because you were saying that the Discord people were saying something about how whatever, and then that you asked Grace about it, and that her past 5 years of testimony were somehow infallible in the way that she told it to you. And so you're saying either she's an amazing liar, which is not surprising because apparently you were blindsided by the lies about you, apparently. And beyond that, you think she's so talented and hot. But then also you're saying, and then I asked you and you muted or whatever, but basically there was a little difficulty with the conversation. But I asked you I'll paraphrase it. It went something along the lines of, did she deny the rumors about her and Ben, or did you just not prod into that at all? And she sidestepped.
I didn't ask about that. I don't. That's when she asked me what my take was on. I'm like, that really isn't. I mean, it's something that if I knew for sure was going on, it would matter. But I felt like it's to ask somebody that kind of a personal question. It's like I didn't know her well enough to. It was really it really isn't my business. It's hard to explain. I do care. I mean, if that's going on, that's bad. But
wait, hold on. Did I zone out? You said if it was occurring, you wouldn't care. What does that mean?
No, I would care if it was ongoing. But I'm saying if something happened 5 years ago that she was embarrassed about, I'm not going to pry into that. You know what I mean?
But you
That's
wouldn't
just
do
not
anything to. But okay, but like as a not as a father, but I'm saying like as a like a middle-aged guy, you wouldn't say like, okay, you were 16, like, hey, let's like this is really rough, or would you just say, oh, okay, I'm just gonna sidestep it, I'm gonna be cordial with Ben, I'm not gonna even care? Like, what do you mean?
I mean, I guess what I'm saying, if she trusted me enough to come to me and tell me, hey, you know what, there's something that I want to talk to you about, I would listen, but I'm not going to pry into a 21-year-old's sexual history. I guess it's just the way I felt. It's just not appropriate question to ask. You know what I mean? I took at face value that she said these rumors are lies. And so until I had a real reason to question that, I just thought I will accept what she tells me as face value.
Okay, so I mean, how is that not a sim point of view though? Like, you have a girl that has all these allegations and you're just going to take it at face value, and then she's going to talk about how you took shit in the face for her. I mean, do you see like how bad of a look that is? Like, what is the cope for it? Like, what's the spin? Because again, it seems like you were being really nice for no reason.
You're not. You're not really. I'm not. Yeah, that was not that. Honestly, this is I'm giving you the interview that Francis asked for.
What are the reasons? Wait, isn't he saying the reasons? The reasons are because they seem very genuine, and that their personal issues seem to not be.
I think the version Grace gave me of everything made sense, and so I thought
you felt like it was genuine. So you felt that's why you continued to do your behavior where you were helping them, as you felt like they gave off genuinity despite the allegations.
But what the things I was helping them with, I would have helped anybody. Some random stranger on the street pulled over and said, "I live in this RV and it's wicked hot and it smells like crap." I would help those people.
You definitely, well, yeah, but I mean, like, you kind of went out of your way to help them out more. Like,
well, they asked for more. The last thing is they just kept asking. It's like, "Oh, would you mind coming down to Kennebunk today?" And then I get to Kennebunk and it's like, "Oh, by the way, we're not going to fix anything tonight." And I understand the streaming was a priority, and so I tried to just be patient. It's like, okay, they don't have. This is what they're doing for a living, and so I can't interfere with that.
It's not a priority. They can take a few days off.
That's I did. All the time. Yeah, and that's why eventually I did kind of lose patience.
It's like it's his entertainment too. If he fixes the issue, he gets more entertainment from helping out like a fan.
Yeah, and
Wait,
so that's why.
Questions.
Yeah.
Someone says, "What's Grace's version?" And I want to say that Grace's version of I'm guessing that you're asking about in terms of just the OPC experience in general.
No. Wait, hold on, Ava. It was about no. So OPC was referring to how Grace explained the past 5 years, how Shamu obviously has like the documentaries, and then apparently offline she told OPC about what happened 5 years ago. And so OPC Mario is asking, what did Grace tell you, and how was that so logical at the time when she presented it to you?
So one of the first things I saw was Shamu's video is pretty. I thought seemed pretty fair and balanced. Like he's basically just bringing out their own words and using them against them. And so I talked to her about that because I said, I personally feel like Artie is pretty credible. Whether he's right, he might be like a little bit, wringing his hands about things that he doesn't even know about. But I think his heart is in the right place, and he's got good motivation. And I felt the same way with Shamu, that Shamu seems to be, of all their, I don't know if you call them haters, Shamu seems to be pretty reasonable. And like I said, he put those things together basically just using their own words. But when she explained it, some of Shamu's past, and she cast enough doubt on him as a reliable source that I thought, nobody knows more about what happened than Grace Thorpe.
Was she talking about like the poop eating situation or whatever?
She did. She did talk about that. I guess I knew RZA was involved in that, but she said Shamu was actually part of that group that trolled the guy that ended up. I don't know if it was a suicide or just his liver failed.
Cool, dude, they told me that too. When they told me that, I was like, "What? Who cares?" Like, you took that and you were like, "Oh, I trust you more."
Well, I'm just saying everything I questioned her about, she had an answer for. And so my thought is, if this is a lie,
dude, Dude, but like, and I get you understand this now or whatever, but like, bro, they're just in Discord talking about the same things every day. They've got an answer to every single question about their own personal life. People, literally parasocial fucking freaks, sit in their Discord for like, I was one of them, for like fucking hours to talk to them, like about like the same shit. So it's like, yeah, they have,
So, I mean,
they
she
have
has had
responses to
time
these
to.
things.
Yeah, I do agree that she's had time to get her answers polished.
Yeah,
but I mean, there's also this.
Perfect. All right. So basically, Darius got to a note here that I wanted to touch on. So apparently, Grace has an answer for everything that makes sense, right? Now, what might come off as trite and actually articulate at the time might seem like a cope later on. And so now that you're kind of in the hater position, the question to really put out there for everybody to listen to is, what makes you think that right now what seemed coherent at the time was kind of a lie now? And if that is the case, then how did you kind of like justify how Grace explained everything? And then also with your point of view that you seemed like a chatter for like over a year ago that also thought that Ben was like an incompetent and like an abuser of some sort. How did you square that together? Because again, you kind of believed Grace at face value, but Grace is a big, the number one Ben ball washer, right? So then like, how do you triangulate that and make it make sense?
All right, so I have a father. I haven't gone to this, but my father is pretty similar to Ben Thorpe in a lot of ways.
Whoa, buddy! Whoa, what the hell? Really?
Yeah. Well, like this. Okay, again, you're stealing the process's interview, but you're always going to think your dad is the best guy in the whole world, and so like you don't hold that against if a daughter overlooks faults in her dad. Like that's kind of a normal thing. I mean, I can understand why like people say like this isn't a normal father, but the hate comments towards Ben back then were mainly just because I could just see that the business decisions, like when I first saw Grace, I'm like, this girl, if she isn't yet like famous, she could be. Like she's as good as like I've talked about Sav Hernandez. Like Sav Hernandez is great. Grace on top of her game, I think is better than Sav Hernandez.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, OPC, let me take 20 seconds to just kind of like translate what you mean. Okay, so this is OPC talking, right? So let me, more brown on my face. All right, let's imagine this. Okay, so I'm OPC as of like 2 months ago in the main arc. Look, I want to help this girl. I'm attracted to her. She has more talent than every other girl I watch on YouTube, and her dad's a piece of shit, but I'm going to put up with it because she has so much talent that she can transcend it. And I want my own YouTube career. And so therefore, I'm going to prop her up in a way that by the time that she gets famous, she'll also help me on the way up. Yes?
No, you put a lot of words in my mouth there. What I was trying to say is the hate comments you were talking about. Like I can drive by a house and I can see that there's flaws with the house. If you know enough about business, like you can pick up on things like this is terribly marketed. That's a really good house, but it's not marketed well. The street appeal is not there. And if you know enough and you have enough capital, you can step into a situation like that, buy the house, improve the curb appeal, and make a lot of money on it. And so right off the bat, like I said,
what is the Joey money? I'm very curious.
Okay, Grace is so Joey gave money out of his own pocket to support Grace. And I was just like, that's very impressive.
Wait, he got money out of his own pocket to do what? Are you lagged?
He super chatted Grace. He super chatted Grace or cashed after. I think it was a super chat. Like I can't remember. It was like $20 or something. It was, or maybe it was even like $2.
Joey's her brother, right?
Yeah. And so Grace,
that's the youngest one.
Yes, and so he was going to join the stream and help. And so I cashed out $100 for Joey to get something for him to like. The motivation in that is that I wasn't looking to just help Grace. I was looking to help the whole family. And Grace, over the time that I watched her, she talked about. No, not okay. Hold on, before you go too far.
No, dude. Why? No. The only part. Why wouldn't you just? Why? Deadass. Why wouldn't you? Because here's the thing. Listen. I'm a creepy weirdo too. I was thinking like if I wanted to give money over to what's it called? Because after I met bro, I was like, bro, he had like an Xbox 360. I was like, y'all niggas need to upgrade. I'm gonna get you on Xbox One because I'm rich as fuck and whatever. And I was like, okay, I want to give them money, and I just talked to Courtney. Why would you talk to the kid directly, dog?
Courtney is disappeared. There's no way of reaching Courtney.
Why not?
I don't. I have. They tell me that you can't even find the Discord that she's on.
Wow,
I
really?
have no access to Courtney.
Okay, sure. That's okay. Well, I
It's
mean,
pretty easy to find her.
Okay, but let me go back to
if Ava can find her, then
I'm not accepted in the circles that Ava's accepted in. But anyways,
maybe that's never mind.
Well, anyways, okay. I had heard Grace. So I come from a similar family background as they are, and
no incest in your family. You're denying that claim.
Yeah, I mean, this was supposed to be the Process's interview, but I'm one of the older kids, and we helped. My youngest brother is a doctor, and we got him through medical school. And Grace, throughout the time that I knew her, she was talking about buying a truck for Tom. She seemed to have a heart towards helping the younger kids. Courtney's working 2 jobs, and like all the respect in the world to Courtney, but like that's going to be tight. One woman alone supporting those kids, it's like she's going to cover bare. So the thought was that if Grace can become successful, she will share that money with the rest. That was my thought at the time, and that's why, like, I think she was asking at the time for the younger brother, not the younger brothers, but Tom and some of the other kids to help her out, to come and film, and to. It just seems like it's a lot for Grace. Is kind of going to be the breadwinner for Ben. Grace, that's a lot to throw on one person. And so my thought was just then, if these kids are willing to help her out, and he's willing to put his own money into Grace's career, like, I just thought that's something you should reward. Because like my family, we pulled together, and we're all relatively successful now, but we struggled probably as much, if not more, than the Thorps did when we were growing up. And so the thought was that this isn't just to help Grace alone. Helping Grace helps the whole family. I'm not going to, they gave Maggie's cash app. I'm not going to send Maggie money. I'm not, this was just because, and the super chat did go to Grace. Grace gave the money to Joey herself later. But the thought was, I'm not.
You think that happened?
Yeah, she did send the money. She showed the receipt that she did send Joey the money.
What's the receipt of her spending the money? What?
Well, the cash app.
Okay, wait, OPC. Let me fill you out. Okay, wait. Okay, so hold on. So people are implying that because you sent Grace's 12-year-old brother or whatever money, that like you're a groomer or something.
Yeah, okay. I really don't care.
No, hold on. Wait.
Yeah, okay.
You don't remember how much Joey sent Grace in the first place, but you're saying that you only sent Grace the amount that Joey sent in the first place, or did you send Joey more to compensate?
No, Joey didn't have any money. I don't remember what he said, but he sent his own money. I can't remember. It was a modest amount, but he was the first super chat of the night, and I was like, I'm impressed. That kid, he gave sacrificially. It wasn't, it wasn't a lot of money, but for him it was, and like I just thought that kid should be rewarded for making that kind of a sacrifice to help his sister's career. That was my thought at the time. I just thought I'm not gonna stand by and let that go unrewarded. That was a selfless thing for a kid his age to do. But the idea was that the whole time, this isn't just about helping. Like everyone's trying to say, like, I'm attracted to her and stuff. Like I thought I answered that in the stream where we changed the oil. And again, this is stuff that watch the stream. But this is the stuff that I wanted to cover with the process. But at the end of the day, the thought was that this is a family that's a lot like mine. I have the opportunity by helping Grace to help the whole family. I thought, like, again, I don't know. There's been times when, she cut ties with all the rest of the family, and maybe she would just be selfish and keep them. I don't know. Like, I just, in my interactions with her, I trusted the things that she told me. And the thought was that Courtney.
Okay, but why can't you just admit that you were attracted to her? Like, it seems like the open question here, obviously, right? Like, so, you couldn't just say, like, come on.
Like I said, I don't want to talk shit about her. Yeah, this isn't something that. This is part of the reason why I thought, like, I'm just not even going to do this interview.
So you're not even attracted to her, really? Okay, I don't know. It's up to you.
She's okay. I showed her the girl that I was going to marry, and they're very different. Grace, that girl was my type. Then it's not to throw shade at Grace. You know what I mean? Like. I'm not saying
you kind of are, and that's a valid position to take. You have a different taste.
Yeah, definitely. People have different tastes. I guess that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that she's like, the the worst looking girl ever. But it's just, I showed her that this was the girl that she was the one. She was the girl I was going to marry. And Grace, they're very different body types, very different.
Grace was jealous that your ex-girl was hotter than Grace.
She acted that way. She acted that way. But okay, here's the other thing: is that Grace had talked to me the day before about pretending that there was some kind of a romantic interest, and I said, "Sure, I don't care. I'll play along with that." But I missed the first part of the stream. I was trying to find where she was parked at the college, and after I watched the first part of the stream, she was getting like all, "Oh, he's coming," and like it was. I missed that bit had already started. So by the time I got there, I didn't know I was supposed to be acting like I was interested in Grace. So I just answered the question honestly. And then she acted like she was jealous or hurt, and I don't know how much was an act. I don't think she was actually hurt. I don't think there was ever any real chemistry between the two of us. But she did act like she was hurt on screen. And that's the other thing is, like with the frosting on the face, like I thought we had some bits sort of established. And then a lot of it is just their real life, because like you can't have an 11-hour stream and not let your real life come through. But the plan was for us to do some content that would get more views than normal. So we're getting into the algorithm stuff. Their audience, they have a split audience. They have some that love them and some that hate them. And that's what holds their channel back, because YouTube can't understand, like, there's a lot of like human elements that AI can't comprehend. I guess they're too complex, so they only can measure certain actions and like how you react to your videos. And this is going to get a little bit too complicated, but my hope is that I could explain the algorithm stuff. We could find a way to get everybody that loved her and hated her to react positively to the videos. And I had some plans for that. None of it really materialized. And like I said, at the end of the day, they mostly just wanted to sit in their chairs and talk. And so,
okay. So hold on. Grace had mentioned in passing before, I remember now, like that the first idea was that she was gonna pick up some guy with like an axe off the side of the road. Was that your idea?
Yeah. So what I told her, so there was apparently there was some botting. See, we're totally screwing the process here. But I will. So the stream where she wrote "slut" on her head, and she got up to like something like 4,500. I don't know if they were actual viewers, but they were definitely, because I was in the chat.
There were bots. No.
Well, okay. But that's the thing, is that I can prove that a lot of them weren't, because I was in the chat, and every new guy that showed up that I could tag, I said, "Hey, how did you get here?" And everyone I talked to said it was in my feed. And so it can be bot assisted without necessarily being completely. So what my thought was with her is, if you do something that puts you in a seemingly dangerous situation, people who hate you everybody will be interested. Like when she was writing "slut" on her head, like Speakeasy was streaming it, Smith was in his that's what thought is, if she's either doing something with guns, if she's doing something that seems potentially dangerous.
Do you think it was hot though, at least, or
hot?
Yeah.
Think what was hot?
Well, like the whole thing on her knees with the slut thing, or were you disgusted by it?
I was legitimately, Ricky and I were both in the chat, and we were both like, did she actually lose her mind? We were just like, what in the world is going on here? And then once the viewers started shooting up, we just started spamming the PayPal link, and because we just went into, we were doing our job. But
dog, can I be for real with you?
What's that?
Can I be 100% for real with you?
Sure.
You kind of weird as fuck, man. Like, you kind of like really fucking weird, dude. Like the idea of like, okay, so let's say my highest, it was botted. Let's be honest. The highest view count was like 99K when I was with the Thorps on the fucking bench of what's his fucking name.
Courtney.
Like, do you think I need to just do content similar to that crash out to be big?
No, your audience.
But even with Grace, like her best thing is like her on her knees begging for daddy dick or whatever the fuck that weird shit was. Do you think she shouldn't make content where it's just like her being in weird stickly situations because people like the more degrading or what's happening stuff?
You can't maintain that content. But see, like your audience likes you, right? What she needs is a fresh start. So if she can bring in enough viewers to offset the audience that she currently has, like if she has 1,000 people that hate her, that are always gonna dislike videos, just want to see her fail.
Hold on. OPC, I have a great question for you. Okay, hold on. So you're saying you did your job and you and Enrico, a lesbian mod on the chat for Grace. Okay, so you were shilling the cash up or whatever have you at the time when she was spiraling, according to what you were thinking at the time. It was heartbreaking moment. I'm sure. Okay, so let's say when Darius slapped Grace in LA, had you been there in the chat, would you have also showed the cash app and all that? Would it be part of your job too? Or
no, that made me really angry. If I was there, I do not like seeing women get hit. That made me super sad. But again, I wasn't a mod then. What I talk about doing our job. Ricky and I would take turns. Like I would either spam. I can't remember. We had things that we would spam. I can't even remember what we were doing back then, but we would take turns. And so when Grace gets her marker and writes slut on her forehead, like nobody was doing anything. We're just like, what the hell is going on here? But once we kind of figured out this is a bit, then we just went back into mod mode and did our jobs. But once the new people started showing up, I also wanted to know how did you find this channel? Because I'm the whole time thinking about the algorithm and like, is this the thing that's going to actually go viral? That's going to help her to build her audience, to have the kind of audience that she can actually succeed with. Because it only takes a handful. If you have a small enough audience, it doesn't take too many people who hate you to hold you back.
Yeah, but you have to think about even I'm not trying to think of it as much, but the amount of energy that Miss Thorpe had that day when she did that stream was one after her father just went to jail. She was left alone. She had to make up a stream about it and talk about it and argue about a bunch of people about how her dad's not an abuser. I think to have that same sort of energy she was able to have to be as entertaining there, you're asking someone to constantly have to be that worked up. You know what I mean? If my best streams are while I'm manic as fuck, I'm not gonna be a good streamer.
The idea wasn't to do that every single time. The idea was to do that hopefully once to get something viral. If we had done the gun, if we had Grace doing, so I can tell you now because this was going to be a members only stream. I had some blanks. I had some they call them, they're 22 shot shells. And so if you have a balloon or something, I had some trick shot bullets so that we could do some things that made either Grace look like a super good shot. Or anyways, I just thought if we had gun on YouTube are very controversial. The thought was we need to do something.
Her cameras. Dude, yeah, I get what you're saying. What you're talking about is some high-end psyop shit, of just her shooting guns, being whatever, because she's a attractive young girl. But dog, that's I'm not. That, you know how that's weird for you personally, not being their account manager or anything, to be having thoughts of, you don't really work. I get what you're saying, but you're using this headspace for free for what purpose?
Okay,
no, OPC, as your defense attorney, I'll defend you on this. Okay. So right, OPC was imagining that he has this algorithmic experience. Grace knows him in the chat for over a year. She's going to say, oh my God, this guy's so nice. He's going to help with the RV. He's going to teach me how to do YouTube. I really want to succeed on YouTube. I put so many years into this. And so then she's going to actually do what OPC tells her to, because he knows better. He spent $7,000 on a course on it. And then what's going to happen is that she'll succeed. They're going to do the whole lumberjack axe by the side of the road bit. They're going to do all sorts of bits, the scat on the face bit. And they're also going to do the shots. Oh my God, you're a fucking American elite sniper race.
Can we get rid of
on the face bit?
Can we get rid of Lalo? Lalo is not helping at all.
What's the scat on the face bit?
Okay, so that's the other thing, is a lot of Grace's haters hate me. And so, we were going to have to fix the toilet anyways. And so I said to her, what if we pretend that I get excrement on my face? It's just what's going to make people tune in. Enough people tune in so that we get promoted in the algorithm. So you start to get the new people in. Because all those new people that saw Grace with slut on her head were all kind of like stun locked. You know, they're like, what the hell am I watching? That's what they're actually saying in the comments. It's like, what the hell is this? So like getting new people in who aren't going to be interested in what you're doing doesn't help your channel. You know what I'm saying?
The clip of you saying that you think it's a good idea to have excrement on your face is funnier than me actually seeing you have shit on your face. I'm not even joking. Like, I don't know. Dude, I'll be honest, if I saw you have shit on your face, I'd be like, okay. I don't know, like, dude, I'm sorry. I get it's like funny, but like, what are you trying to like? What audience are you trying to target? Like Skibbity Toilet Man? It's like, what the fuck are you going for?
Okay, well, again, like
I get,
so,
I get it.
So for a video to go viral, so the thing that I guess Lala didn't explain is that I have had the idea to do a YouTube channel for about as long as Grace and Ben have been on YouTube. They just made a channel and started putting videos. I started researching the economic models, who's making money, how are they making money, what's the best target audience. Like, I've been doing all that research. I took some AI classes through IBM. I'm approaching this from a completely different angle than the Thorps did. And so what I told them, and again, they didn't really care to listen to what I had to say, but like, okay, so say you put up a video and it's like just you at dinner with your family. That's never going to go viral, but you know why?
Why?
So YouTube is completely audience based. So if your audience reacts positively, if enough of your audience reacts positively, YouTube says, hey, this might be viral. And that's what I mentioned. I can't remember who I was talking. I guess I was talking on Ava's panel. The algorithm is set up so that at any point, any video could go viral. But if it doesn't do well with your audience profile, the people who typically watch your content, it's not going any further than that. They're not going to put it in front of any other viewers if your normal viewers don't like it and react positively. So this is Grace's problem. She's never going to put out a video, or it's very hard to put out a video that her entire audience will like. People who like her will like the videos where, you know, she had that video where she answered the questions right and she looked really
yeah. So real quick, so I went into the solution. So maybe I'm missing like a part of your step program because I'm listening to you because I'm getting it. But why would you jump to like the bits are like her, like now we're gonna just start putting her in like dating scenarios and also like scat scenarios.
No, okay.
Like why did you think like, oh, maybe so we can get her audience engaging positively, why don't we have you do some things your audience has been looking forward to you doing? I think one thing would be like maybe getting a job, maybe moving away from Ben. Why wouldn't these be the solutions you would give? And why would you come to scat porn and like
I can answer that.
Like lumberjack role play. What's up?
Okay, so all right. So the first thing is like we were brainstorming what could go viral, you know? And so I live in Maine, and the idea was that what could I like, instead of just like sitting in the chairs and doing the typical Grace content, I was like, what could we do in Maine that could potentially go viral? We were changing the toilet anyways, so the thought was, what if we did this? Could this go viral? And even if it didn't go viral, it was going to be something that we could just share with the members, because it wasn't, even if you can't get all the viral moment.
When you say stuff like that, it's like you were.
Well, OPC, just to bail you out here. So you came up with this shit on your face idea, but what did Grace say would go viral? I mean, she's young. She goes through TikTok every day.
She tends to just do what Ben says. She'd be on the phone for like.
Come on, really? Is that true? Come on, man. Really?
I don't remember. She might have come up with things, but typically she would, after we would stream, she would get on the phone with Ben and they would talk about, you know, whatever their plans were. I don't remember her actually. She might have pitched some ideas, but I don't remember anything specifically that she thought would go, because I don't think she really realizes the need to go viral. I think she just thinks as long as she's growing slowly, she'll eventually get there.
Okay, so you really wanted this idea of going viral, blah 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 blah. Listen, let's be for real. Grace doesn't care about going viral. She doesn't care about doing anything productive ever in her life. Like,
and that was
but you're not like I don't know why you like. Okay, so where Lalo's brain goes is that you liked her, and now my brain's getting there because the only thing I can see you doing is getting into this like Captain Save-A-Ho type vibe. Because like, why are you trying to push this girl to like go viral so bad? Like, you haven't even known her for like 3 months.
I had been studying this stuff, and I felt like if I can turn this channel around, because all these different problems kept presenting themselves.
I'm sorry, real quick. Why would you choose to test out your method, the one channel that's in the depths of hell? Like they are hanging almost next to Satan. These people are like, there's literally one person is like a pedophile. He's accused of being a pedophile. The other one's like a pedophile lover. And you're like, oh, this is the channel I can try to switch it up with? Dude, no way, dog. There's no shot you thought that, man. There's no way, bro.
So, okay, I can explain that because all through the time I knew Grace, I was sending her links to the algorithm stuff. And then all these new problems kept presenting themselves. And I was like, yeah, I still think I can fix this. I think if you do this and this, I think you'll be okay. And then once they actually had the botting incident, I stopped sending her those links because I'm like, that was what I was actually hoping you could get. If you could get 4,000 people on a stream, that would be the thing that I thought would save your channel, and it didn't. So that kind of shook me because I was like, maybe this channel can't be saved. And then I looked into it a little bit more, and I looked into the different types of bots. The guy who claimed to bot her was named Sheppy God OD or something like that. He claimed he spent $1,500 and had live bots. And so I looked into that, and there's a lot of things wrong. I don't know if he's a troll. I don't know. But the more I looked into the types of bots you can buy are typically so you can either write a program with Python or something like that. They'll raise you like 100 views. There's places in China where there's like desks with people with 100 cell phones in front of them that will turn on to your channel. That's more money. But I never found people who would be in the live chat, and I just questioned the botting incident. And so that's why I thought if we can do this again and we get a different result, then yes, I'm right. This channel can be saved. If we can't do this, if we do it again and the same thing happens, then yeah, you're done. But at the end of the day, they were done just because they refused to change. They're going to keep doing what they're doing. They're going to keep running out of money. It was just a waste of time. But
okay, now that brings me to another thing. Okay, so you did a bet. I somewhat arbitrated haphazardly. Okay, you shook on this. You did a bet that by this time next year, as in like a month ago, that by ThorCon 2025, which is the parameter you said that you wouldn't talk to Grace in.
I just I'm just like, I'm just done with you people. I'm just like, I've done what I could. At that point, I was just like, I'm done with you. Don't talk to me. I won't talk to you. It's just. But then I felt bad because like they did. I don't know if they thought I actually stole. I did not steal their chairs, but like I just felt like maybe I owe these people an apology. Maybe I should try to rectify the situation. But at the time when I sent that, I'm just like, yeah, good riddance. I'll finish. I'll do the bet, but that's it. I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Okay, that brings another point. Since you're so eloquent, I think that when you brought back the chairs, it's been a week since then. Have you ever thought like, wow, I really miss the IRL content? I mean, was part of it kind of fun? Really?
No, I actually answered this question to Rini. Rini said, "Did you enjoy your time there?" And I said, "No." I said Grace's life sucks, but I should have qualified that to just say, it's not a fun life to be streaming your whole life, every waking hour. You know what I mean? You never have a chance to like unwind. That's not fun. I don't like the IRL content. I want to just do edited videos. I don't want to. I didn't like the IRL.
Why didn't you like the IRL though? I mean, if you enjoyed Grace's company, why didn't you like the IRL? Did you like the offline better?
Wait,
is that true?
Wait, I'm sorry. Can I just address this comment? Was it really Ben making Grace skinny dip at the dock? That was his no more point. Did that happen?
Yeah, that was because Grace is not a strong swimmer.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, so
Why'd you start it off with that?
What?
What
the hell?
Yeah, well, okay. So like again,
What do you mean she's not a great swimmer? Like, what do you? Did you watch her swim? Did you watch her skinny dip?
Yes.
Did you just say yep?
I missed your question. I'm sorry.
Did you watch her skinny dip?
No, nothing could be seen. But what he made her do is swim out far out to where there was a buoy, take her swimsuit off, and leave it on the dock. And then he was out on the end of the dock, and he had her swim up so he could just not see anything with the camera. It was like just after it was like dusk, so you could see her head above the water. But she's not a strong swimmer, and the whole thing made me like but like, what are you going to do? Are you going to swim out and get her swimsuit to a naked girl? I mean, what I did do is I got the paddle boat out to push out to her because I'm like, she's going to get tired.
She was naked?
Yeah, he had her swim out to the buoy, put her swimsuit on the buoy, and then swim back halfway to him. And he was filming the whole thing. And so she was getting tired, and she still had to go back and get her swimsuit on. And I'm like, this is a messed up thing to be doing to your daughter. Like, even if it's like not the clothes, like I'm just like, she's going to drown if you don't let her, she's, I'm just like, yeah, this is a messed up thing to ask your daughter to do. So I got the paddle boat out in case she was too tired. I'm not going to swim out to a naked girl and like help her, but I just thought I'll push the boat out to her. She can hang on to that and get, just get rested enough to get back to her swimsuit. But yeah, there was a lot of things that I didn't like about their relationship, but again, they're adults, and like if she wants to skinny dip and be like a tease on camera, like that's not my
with her dad.
Yeah, it was weird, but again, like I couldn't see anything, so I'm assuming he was closer to her than me.
That's weird, but like you maybe like
no, I didn't.
Maybe you like do start putting puzzle pieces together, like. But
again, like what are you going to do? She's an adult. If she was a minor, you could call the police, but she's an adult. She's adult choosing to be with this man doing these things.
I would offer her advice and then be like, listen, I can't associate with you because of your fucking weird situation with your father. It's really disgusting, and I actually feel really bad for you that you're in this situation. So I no longer can be your friend, unfortunately, unless you change your situation. And then you just end it there. And maybe you could send her some death threats every now and then, and it's funny. But
that's why I'm like, it's okay. So all these things, thinking about all these things is why I asked you the question. You just wish you'd never met them. Like, should I just say, screw all of it? I'm just walking away. I'm not going to do any more interviews. I'm not going to talk about any of this stuff. It was a bad experience. I wish.
Yeah, I probably, I mean, like, I make money streaming, so I kind of can't just like walk away from it. But if you have that ability to walk away from this and this internet stuff because you think it's a little bit much, I would definitely do it. I think you have a little bit of a parasocial behavior with people, a bit too much. I understand you had really good ideas. And they probably were pretty base, but you kind of forced that onto them.
No, I didn't. None of them got done. I made the suggestions and then they shot them down. Ben runs the show.
But then you sounded. It sounds like you're like if it was your suggestions, your stuff, it should just be left at that. It sounds like you're a little like frustrated that they didn't want to take your advice. Like you thought they were like done for it.
Well, like I'm just saying, it's like unfortunate that they are this broke because it's like if you saw somebody with a Ferrari and they painted it white and they were selling ice cream out of it, driving 3 miles an hour, you just be like, dude, that car will go a lot faster than that.
Grace is a Ferrari. That's crazy. Okay, anyway, hold on. You're missing a point here. You saw Ben do that with Grace with the skinny dipping or whatever you said happened. Okay. Why don't you take Ben aside as a fellow 50-year-old man and be like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? You've never done that one time. Is that true? Not even once. Say like, what the hell? Or
I tried. I did on stream a couple times confront him, but like he just gets like combative. He doesn't listen to anybody who disagrees with him. Like you've seen that.
Okay, I only tell you that because apparently he says that the reason why the bridge burnt was nothing having to do with Grace, but he said that in fact it was because he called you a genetic failure at some point at the beach.
That's when I proposed the bet, because I was just like, if you're not going to listen to me, I'm just going to go do my own thing, and this will give me a reason to just pull away from you and go do my own thing. I was sick of them back when they drove past me and went to Dairy Queen. I'm just like, fuck you.
Didn't Ben propose the bet?
No, I did. He wanted to do the gold coin, but I was just like, I'll tell you what. I said, how about this time next year we see who's the bigger channel? But I just was tired of fighting with him. I'm just like, you're not going to listen. I'm just going to go do my stuff. You do your stuff, and we'll see who actually knows what they're talking about here. But again, this was all supposed to be the Process's interview. I don't know what I'm going to talk to the Process about now, because
you just talking about the same thing. I'm sure he has the same questions, and you can repeat them.
But honestly, I mean, that's not going to build.
I mean, if you feel like this is giving you enough and to let off your chest, that's fine. You shouldn't talk about this anymore if you don't feel like you should.
My
test the audio. Looks like the other videos weren't playing, but the StreamYards, the audio was working. But the YouTube did not get the audio. So let me check. To do a little testing here with this.
But anyways, so now that you're here, Lal, I know you haven't been, I guess, burned. I thought you got burned by them as far as they wouldn't take the video down. I felt like that was the least they could do for a friend, to just take that video down. So I thought you would probably be a little bit more burned when you came on the stream. I thought, like, yeah, Lal was going to be upset. So you would 100% stream with them again, and you have no problem with any of it.
I'm terrified after what you said. I'm actually shitting my pants, to be honest. But I mean, to kind of touch on what you were talking about previously, I think that you mentioned a point about how you had this angle about supporting Grace, and I think that might be kind of like a cute thing. But so what kind of angle were you going for? Like, because again, there's an age dynamic. So were you going for like supportive uncle, older brother type, father type? What was that sort of
you ask all these weird questions. Like, I don't analyze my relationship with Ava. I know Ava. I knew she wanted to go on whatever. I had ties to get her on whatever. I don't like analyze it. Am I her uncle or am I her estranged cousin? Like, I just don't analyze relationships that way. I had access to some people that could get her on the show, so I just offered that to her. Like, I don't analyze like even my role to you. Am I like your uncle or your second cut? You needed a microphone. I thought, like, this guy's trying to succeed and he can't do it without a microphone. I'll give the kid a microphone. Like, yeah, I just thought, like, you might potentially take off. And I thought, even if you could never help me in my own career, I could tell my grandkids someday, or, hey, that famous guy, Lalo, when he was a kid, just starting out, I helped him. You know what I mean? That alone would be worth it to tell the story. You know what I mean? True. But like, I don't, yeah.
All right. Now, while I take a 2-minute piss break, I'm going to leave you with another question before I come back. It's going to do with the fact, okay, what do you say to whatever Grace has said about you in the past several weeks on streaming? Do you think she really hates you, or is she playing it up for content? Okay. I'll leave you with that for 2 minutes.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. If it's a lie, if it's the truth, it doesn't change my life any, And I don't know. Do you got any questions, Ava? Because I don't think he's going to be back for 2 more minutes. Like, that's my answer. It doesn't affect my life at all.
Does it not like hurt your feelings though?
No, not really. Like I said, I am doing well. I was willing to take time off to help them, but like, if they didn't want the help or they aren't grateful for it, it's like, oh well,
Yo, OPCdon, let's make him real mad, man. You want to like fix my car or something? You want to like do me a favor?
You have money.
You can pull up on my stream.
You know what, dude? If you lived here and you were having trouble with your car,
I didn't even see Tenderman waiting. What's up? What do you want?
Hi, OPC. How's my audio?
It's good. It's a little bit low, but I'll turn it up.
This guy's about to cook you. I can tell by the glee in his.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm gonna save the rest for process.
Wait, let me have one question.
Dude, he has so much glee, bro. You're fucked.
No.
Oh, fuck.
What were you gonna ask?
I don't know, but whatever it was is gonna destroy this man.
Tenderman, are you there? Is he just waiting? Why did he run? Why? Does he recognize your name, Tenderman? His audio. I don't know if your audio is not working.
Timmerman's like very active in Discords. I think OPCdon is pretty active there as well.
All right. Did he leave? What the fuck?
Yeah. God damn it, Tenderman! Why would you not fucking have a fake name? Idiot, bro.
Oh, the stream's ruined now. Absolute fucking
OPC, come back. Give OPC a minute to come back. Okay, come on. What the hell? I was being nice. I was being super nice.
I actually would love. I would love to finish that conversation with you, OPC.
Can anyone hear me? I'll
about
give you one
coming
more
to
chance.
Austin.
Tenderman, are you there?
Just kick him out, man.
What did you want to ask? Why didn't you just ask in chat?
No, his shit's fucked. Like, kick him out of the thing so he can rejoin.
The fuck is she doing? I don't know. Anyway, back into balance. All right, so hold on a second. We're matching with mics.
OPC and Ava. Okay.
I mean, Ava, it looks like you're splitting your ass cheeks for OPC to come back, which I agree with, honestly, because again, we were getting somewhere. In fact, we got a lot of places. Ava, do you agree that he was just trying to fuck Grace? This is like an elaborate kind of ruse, honestly.
Yeah, I think he's coping.
Now, do you find him kind of obfuscating to be kind of cute, or do you think it'd just be better if you said like, okay, I just wanted a bone? In which case, okay, maybe,
I think he's a gentleman. I don't think he wanted to just bone. He wanted to swoon first.
Yeah,
he was in love with her for sure.
Yeah, but he wanted to court properly, I think.
I mean, who would admit that?
Well, you don't really admit you're courting until you're like midway through, because if you start admitting you're courting,
he already feels like he's in the hot spot or in the hot seat.
Yeah, but he doesn't genuinely believe you're courting because they didn't get past.
What are you fucking talking about?
What do you think I'm talking about?
No, I'm talking to Tenderman in chat. Oh, maybe I tried to turn your mic up a little bit. Oh, that might be why.
Ava, you fucked that interaction up, man.
Well,
so I mean, OPC can at least rest assured that everybody has a better opinion of him now that he's actually let some shit off his chest. I think he made a lot of great points. I mean, it was really, he didn't really simp. He didn't actually sweep it up. The skinny dipping story made him look actually really good, high integrity, and so we applaud OPC for that. Really impressive stuff, and he had a great intention.
I think he's been wanting to leave. I didn't mute him. I really did not mute him. I tried to turn his mic up. But don't laugh at me.
No, I was laughing at something else.
Lolly.
Yo, okay. Lala, I gotta ask you. Never mind, actually, because I don't want. It sounds like I'm a sneak diss you, but I was actually gonna ask you a question. Because I was thinking of. Nah, it sounds so weird because I was thinking of it, but like the idea of a gentleman recording another girl naked in the pool or the beach or whatever. I can't imagine personally doing that with even like my partner. Like, would you like film someone naked even if you were like close to them? Like, dude, why would I do that?
Wait, hold on, pause. Tenderman, come back up, please. I did not turn your. If you want to come up and say something, I really did not turn your mic down. I turned it up. Fucking, you guys are pissing me off. Anyways, continue.
Like, why would you? I don't know. Like, record. I don't know. It's not like I'm trying to think of the purpose of me filming someone naked, taking my bikini off in the beach.
I think I figured it out. It's basically if I mute this tab, it actually mutes the output too. So it's not only the input and the output.
Like, Lala, when you hear that, do you think that like they're 100%?
Hold on. Okay, get Crack is in a liminal space. Get him the fuck out of here. He's like, I'm gonna sort out this like black YouTuber live stream. Nobody gives a shit. Okay, John Galt sucks. He's boring. Anybody associated with that sucks too, to be honest. Okay, now moving on. Okay, so Darius made a point about it. Like, why would Ben film Grace doing a skinny dip? Okay, well, obviously, if it's on YouTube at some point, then it wasn't a skinny dip. But what it either means is that it wasn't that, or that it was off camera to some extent, like you couldn't see it, like OPC said. Okay, well, we'll take it at face value. Shit, not on face value. But anyway, the point being is that obviously OPC is claiming that Ben did it. Now, why would Ben do that? Obviously, probably to say like, oh my God, have you done skinny dipping before? And Grace is not a great swimmer, according to OPC. And so like shit in a toilet, it doesn't swim well. And so you're saying, okay, well, you know, maybe it does sound weird. And so, you know, Ben was probably like, oh, you know, like, have you done this before? And she's like, no. And it's like, okay, we'll do this, bitch. And then it's like, okay, she does it. OPC kind of in the cut corner, like, oh my God, what the hell am I going to do? Just to confront Ben on it. So, I mean, I don't know. Sounds like what happened.
What would you have done in that situation, Lalo? You would have confronted Ben and just been like, what the fuck are you doing?
I would have just made fun of him, and then he would have felt awkward about it, and then he would have backed off, and then Grace probably wouldn't have wanted to have done that anyway. Also, like, if I were there, it'd be different.
You think Grace wouldn't have wanted to do that anyway? This is like, okay, here's where I'm at now, dude. This is like the third time I've heard of like Ben, and him, he self-admits, I don't care if he's joking or not. It's like too much for me to like be like, you're not joking. He self-admits, he's like, okay, like remember the thing in the woods after LA where he was like, he FaceTimed her naked or whatever? I'm like, why am I hearing so many stories or weird things of you like interacting with her in sexual ways, like just blatantly like being naked on FaceTime and now filming her naked in a fucking beach? Like, is that am I missing something? Like, how do you defend that? Like,
yeah,
I wasn't. No, that's not what I'm saying. Well, I'm asking you, Lala, because you're gonna probably talk to her. So how do you be like, bro? Like, I'm actually talking to like a rape victim. Like, you know what I mean? Like you like how do you not like message her and be like, dog, I'm actually talking to like a psych. I'm getting firsthand like conversations right now with someone that's like fucked, and not like feel bad because that's where I'm at. I can't like message that. I've like after I've done the deducing. I can't genuinely talk with that person without either having the most hate in my heart that I could just like say out there, or fucking like completely ignoring it. It's just because it's like sick. I don't know how to engage with it. I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense.
Yeah, you're more distraught about it than I am. So I mean, the bottom line is more so you're more of an empath for sure. My bottom line is like, can I do something to change it? Yes, no. If not, then why is it my burden? You know, it's kind of like your problem at that point. So it's, you know, whatever. You know, OPC on the other hand, he's kind of like talked, but what?
How was it even fun to interact with that? You know what I mean? It's like if you're talking to like a psych ward patient, like the person's crazy. What the fuck am I supposed to like? What am I getting out of this interaction?
Serious. You're put into a psych ward because you're crazy and you're currently crazy in the psych ward. Okay. Whereas you're saying like, okay, well, somebody who acts normal enough did something crazy back then. Why aren't you shitting your bricks about like what they did last year? But it's more so a question
but it's not of back then. It is currently. It's like wouldn't have nothing to do with like a past situation. You're talking to someone that is currently and actively participating in almost like overdosing on heroin in every single interaction they're having with you. Like, it's like, and you're not talking to like an actual human being that you can like have an exchange of anything with. I don't know, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, they are just like they're not even their own person. You know what I mean? Because of the situation that is like I really don't know how to fucking explain this. Like, when you realize like, okay,
humiliation ritual. It's the same
thing.
That's what that's what Ben coined it as, like the one in the woods in Washington. Her doing it in front of OPC is just like another part of the humiliation ritual or whatever. Ben loves stuff like that.
But like that's what that's like fucking. How do you guys like? I don't even know what to say. It's like
I haven't met up with him. I don't know. It's not surprising to me. It's been the same shit. My mind hasn't changed on this in a long time. So,
but why do you still follow it?
That's what I do. I follow mentally ill, crazy people online. That's what I do.
Is it like a fetish?
No.
Is it like
I follow all kinds? I mean, I follow all kinds of people, dude. There's other lolcows and stuff, and other people. I'm working on something right now that has nothing to do with the Thorps, but I mean, it's a train wreck. I've been waiting for a while for them to like run out of money and everything. So, but
yeah.
But to OPC, because I know you're probably still watching. I didn't think you would just like leave the StreamYard like when you saw.
I knew he was gonna leave. I didn't want to counter signal, but he was totally gonna fucking leave. I called it.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, OPC. It's like you're like, oh, I'm gonna, and this is like nothing against Process or anything, but these people stole like $700 from you and your dignity, and like basically like lambasted you everywhere online, right? So you pick it to do an interview with the guy that runs their late night show, like every night. Like your interview will probably be on Thorp TV. It'll probably be simulcasted there. I would assume, you know, it's like pretty stupid. I mean, you can still do the interview or whatever, but I don't know. I think it makes more sense to do it away from someone that is literally like their late night show guy. It's like just more embarrassment for you to do that, to subject yourself to that. Like I said, nothing against Process. I have no problem with him. I like him, but it's just like a fact.
No, hold on, Shimu. No, but now Ava had said in the past, like, I don't know, week, but basically OPC has claimed that he has sent like a ton of DMs to several different people with like false information to see who would leak it first to Grace, so that to see like if he can trust them. And apparently Process was like the only one that didn't bite on the OPC scat bait. And so like the point is like apparently he only trusts him, and so that's probably why he's been so deadlocked on the 100 viewer or 100 subscriber show that Process has. And so maybe that's what he's doing. And he was hoping for like a softball interview. He caved into the indulgences of like answering whatever I said. And so whatever I just did tonight is way better than whatever the fuck Process would have done anyway. Okay, so that's all kosher. And I mean, so OPC needs to play into it. Okay, this like whole bullshit of like, oh, I'm not going to talk to Grace until ThorpCon 25. That's in forever. Okay, so like that's what I gotta say.
Well, I don't even think that's true, because Grace leaked. OPC asked me about it in the Raging Tomatoes chat, but that was like yesterday. I was watching that because it was like Jim Bob and like Flow State. They were talking about some stuff. I thought it was kind of interesting. It was okay, but he added me or whatever, and that said that he got lambasted or whatever. And they leaked your DMs from like, you know, a couple days ago. Like you've still been DMing Grace, and I don't know if anyone asked him that, but I don't understand. Yeah. Like you're like, I want nothing to do with them, but you like continue to DM and like do these like weird 4D chess type things, right? At least from what Grace has said, from what she's leaked about trying to determine who's lying to you and all this stuff. I don't know. With gay ops and stuff like that, OPC, I mean, the less involved you are, the more like none of this shit matters. Like who's lying to me, like trying to play alliances and stuff like that. It's just really odd to me. I don't know.
Yeah. Now, I completely lost track of what it was going to be that I was going to say, but I'm just going to make it up on the spot. Okay. So OPC is over here saying something along the lines of, that he doesn't want to be involved. He clearly does want to, just that he feels under leveraged. Now, there was a note. I don't know if Grace said this in public, or I don't know where I got this from, but basically there was a point said in passing in the past week that apparently OPC, when the bridge was burnt with the Thorps, that he tried to cuddle up with like the A-logs or something. So like, did that actually happen? Apparently he says that you're a nice guy, Shemo. Well, like, did he try to like make some sort of like armistice with you, or like what happened?
No, he never contacted me. He said I was like a reasonable guy, and I agree. Like, I mean, most of the time I don't get upset with anybody. You know, I agree. I'm a pretty reasonable guy.
I'm a pretty good guy. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, he never contacted me. I know he contacted other people. I mean, like people have like leaked all his shit. So I'm assuming that he's contacted a bunch of people, but he never contacted me, and I don't really know who all he's contacted. But I just thought it was really weird, you know, the way he went about. I don't even understand really what he was trying to do. I'd like to ask him that too. But if he's not going to get back on panel, that's all good. But I am curious, like, what was he trying to do?
So what you're saying is that he praised you, but also didn't contact you. But like, you know, 'cause there was a vague overture that I've heard of that, like he was trying to like get with the like Thorpe haters, but he didn't also like he couldn't find Courtney either. So what my question is, like, did he ever make an attempt to talk to somebody like Tenderman or something and then get rebuked because he was such a big simp for such a long time, according to them, and therefore kind of try to like triangulate back to the Thorpes? Like, did that ever happen?
I doubt he tried to contact Tenderman or RZA because they constantly like talk shit and all that stuff, right? So I really doubt that he tried to do that. I don't really think he tried to talk to any of the guys that are like Chinatown or whatever you want to call it. I think more of his thing was he contacted like so many different people that are just people from the chat, if I had to guess. But it's all very weird. Like, I mean, now if you're going around like giving people false information, all this stuff, it just seems weird, right? So like it kind of makes you pretty suspect. Like if he was to DM me now, I'd be like, oh, this is the guy that like tried to like flood people with like false info and stuff to run some kind of op or something. So,
okay, now the operative question here is that a lot of people, there's a camp, and a camp is probably the majority of people that watch the Thorpes would say on one hand, okay, Ben is like abusive, like whatever. Okay, then you've got OPC who's like wannabe in that direction as well. So my question to Ava and Shamu is that would you rather Grace be codependent with Ben or with OPC going forward?
Oh man. I mean, so far OPC is less abusive. So there's no evidence that he's been abusive, so I will have to choose him if I had to choose.
Well, that leads me to the second question. I've asked you this before, and it's such a good question. Would you rather sleep with Ben one time or OPC?
We're not doing it. I can't. I physically cannot answer that question.
Yikes. Okay, so Ben bros are up. That's really weird of you, Ava. Okay, I mean, you're a girl. I don't know how that works, but okay. That's up to you.
But you know what? Yeah, I'll say Ben.
You want the salmon shorts? That's up to you. Yeah, you want to... Oh, shit. Oh.
Me and him have had a fling.
Jesus. Okay, so, great. You're going to write his name on your chest. Okay, fine. Okay, Shamu, so would you rather Grace spend the rest of her life with Ben going forward or OPC?
I don't really know OPC. I mean, like, Ben's this is such a fucking retarded question. I mean, Ben's like one of the worst people I've ever like interacted with, and like his history is really bad. You know, all of his family members hate him and think that he's insane and abusive. So I guess you could go for like the mystery thing, but Grace is never leaving Ben, so it's not like any of that matters. It's never gonna happen, in my opinion.
So what would be so what is the best case scenario for OPC going forward, assuming he doesn't log off? Because that would obviously be the best idea, but assuming he doubles down like I tell him to right now. So like what would be the best play going forward?
I don't know. He's so weird about like he told that that story about her skinny dipping or whatever, and he like says it and he talks in like really vague way. Like he doesn't really like take a stance on any of this stuff, even after being humiliated and having his money stolen, which I think is kind of surprising. But I mean, I would just tell the truth about all the stuff that happened and stick up for yourself a little bit more. He like kind of lets them just like walk all over him. If he's not going to log off and he's going to be around, don't let them just like walk all over you, because that's kind of what's going on. And you contacting them is dumb because you know that they're just going to leak it and make fun of you. So I don't know why you're doing that.
Yeah, but so what's his end goal? Do you think he's gonna like, okay, so in his point of view, you know, a lot of people would say that he has like a manic ideation that, you know, because he spent allegedly several $1,000s on the algorithm, that he's going to all of a sudden have this huge influx of viewership when he ever decides to make a channel, which points me to the fact that if he thinks that Grace is like in a dead end, then in fact it might be a turn on for him, and that he really loves her. And in fact, that when he gets this big YouTube spike, whenever that ever happens, that he'll like groom her back in, and that in fact, if Ben is dealing with like 5 different things, like he's Hitler in the bunker in regards to court, that maybe he'll be in jail, and then all of a sudden he comes down from Maine, and then OPC becomes the victor. Do you see that angle?
No, because Grace has no respect for him at all, and she probably never will.
But no, I'm saying like from OPC's point of view, because again, a lot of people think he's delusional. Don't you think that's like the angle he's working on right now?
I have no idea what he's doing. That's why I wanted to kind of ask him. I can't make sense of any of it, to be honest. So I don't. Yeah, that's my answer for that. I have no idea what he's doing. It seems delusional. Maybe that's like his plan, I guess. But the algorithm thing is weird. I think if you're spending money on anything to do with like if you're spending thousands of dollars on some kind of algorithm class, like I feel like you're just getting taken, like you're getting scammed. Yeah. Like there's plenty of places where you can like learn about the algorithm, and you don't have to spend thousands of dollars.
I think that's ultimately, this is all just to cope. I think the whole algorithm thing and the whole thing of him starting his own channel, I don't even think he was ever going to start his own channel. I think he just made that up to have an excuse. I think the algorithm thing is just because of this like savior complex that he has for Grace. And then when they started like making fun of him for that, then he's like, well, it's because I'm starting my own channel. It's like, no, I don't think you ever were, personally.
Okay. Yeah. So instead of passion of the crisis, the passion of the cuck. I don't know whoever can make that meme, but anyway.
It's all about Grace. At the end of the day, it's all about he's always going to be on her side.
Beautiful, isn't it? Okay.
It's typical codependent.
Also, I don't know if you guys picked up on this, but like Darius was trying to like play like good cop with OPC the whole time. Like, was Darius that stupid, or was he like really trying to like goad him into like talking more? Like, I couldn't even tell. It was really weird. Because Darius has a hate boner for sure on Grace. It's like, holy fuck.
Are you there, Darius?
Like, okay. Let him suffer.
I don't know.
Yeah, what up?
No, I'm saying like when OPC was on the call, were you trying to be the good cop for him to talk more, or were you actually like, oh my god, this guy's like a simple guy, and then you eventually realized like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, I kind of wanted to hear more about what his thought process was, because he has conclusions that I'm like, yeah, I like their conclusions, but the way he's getting to the conclusions are not the same way that I got to my conclusions. His conclusions seem like more like he got upset that his like they didn't listen to him, and then they made fun of his ideas, and they kind of just like bullied him. And now he's like fed up with getting bullied, so now he's like suddenly has an issue with everything. When it seemed like he didn't really have an issue with everything before they started bullying him.
I think he kind of fucked himself over, because he was like, you know, like, I don't press on the incest, and I don't think it really matters. And I'm like, wait, what the fuck are you talking about? And it's like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah, but
so, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, for someone, if she was like 33, I'd say fuck it, because it's like, it's Dune, but it's like, she's like 22. She's like 4 years ago, she was 18. She started YouTube. He said he knew about all the 5 years ago. Like, that was when she was a minor. You should just be able to do the math there, and probably be a little bit uncomfortable if you're a human with those two. I would love to see. I don't actually want to see that, because it'd be bad. But like, how I just need to test my limits. Like, if I ever saw them in real life, I don't know if I would spit in Ben's face, or I would just like not interact, or I just ignore them. One of the two. It just depends on how much frustration's in my heart that day.
Jesus Christ.
You know what's crazy about OPC too? Like this is wild. I don't even know if OPC's thought about this, right? So OPC, you were hanging out with the Thorps. You watched Ben do like a humiliation ritual where Grace had to like take off her clothes and swim out to far ways and then swim back and all this stuff. And Ben talks about like having homicidal rage and not being able to contain himself if he sees his wife. You tried to give those people a rifle and a pistol like the first day you met them. You tried to give them guns, dude. Like, that's so wild to me.
You tried to give him a gun?
He tried to give Grace a rifle and a pistol, yeah.
That bitch can't even get a GED. Why would she
give them to her to keep?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he brought a bag full of guns. It's probably still,
what the fuck,
probably
really?
still has a post on it. Yeah, he brought a bag full of brown paper. He had like a big bag, a brown bag, and it had like rifles and pistols. And he like tried to give one to Grace, and she was like, "Oh, we don't really like guns." And but it's
they probably couldn't own one because if they're swatted, they're fucked.
Yeah, but it's just like, what, man? You shouldn't give unstable people firearms. I don't know.
That could.
I mean, he didn't
correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, I remember the stream. I'm pretty sure he tried to offer Grace it, and Grace just didn't accept it. But he had a bunch of different guns with him. I think it was the first time he met Grace.
Yeah, no, that's crazy, bro. OPC, man. I knew you were weird, bro.
Nah, I kind of like it. I think it's Kino. He's like, he's a character. He's a character, kind of like Dalmatian, but completely different too. I see it. I don't know. I think he's kind of interesting. I don't know what it is. I think to be that old and that obsessed is kind of fucking hilarious, honestly.
Yeah, it's definitely unique. That's why I said you probably should get off the internet, because he seems to have a really big attachment to this thing and a need to some like there's, I don't know what disorder it is, but this disorder to like need to correct the record. Like, bro, just realize they're bad people.
It's walkout behavior. It's based.
Yeah,
besides the one interview, he's let them just like totally fucking let them walk all over him. Like, he really hasn't. I mean, besides like getting up here, like I don't remember him really correcting much. He's mostly just like trying to DM
honestly,
people.
you're right. He is literally like the Soviet Union in World War II. Okay, he was getting his ass kicked the entire time. What a loser! But then he wins at the end. Okay, OPC, keep doing interviews. You're gonna win, bro. Trust me. You're gonna fuck Grace. You're gonna feel great, dog. Okay, Ben's gonna be in prison. You're gonna love it. Okay, come back, get interviewed. Fuck Bronze. He can suffer. Softballs. No. You want the hard tack. Okay. Get to the bottom of it, okay? Did you have scat on your face, or was it fucking syrup, or was it caramel? Was it donut frosting? We're gonna get to the bottom of it, okay? I think it's a win-win for everybody. I mean, like, what the hell is he gonna do? Like, disappear, and then sometime down the line, somebody's gonna like see like, oh my god, this guy's doing like fucking architecture videos, and he has OPC's voice. I mean, people are gonna figure out who it is anyway. Who cares?
It's not like people won't watch Pronsis either. Like, if he answers questions here, like that's just ridiculous. People will still watch it. So the people that are like watch the Thorps and stuff.
Yeah,
I don't think it really matters, but
yeah. And I mean, we never really got into like. I don't know. I walked away for a little bit.
But also, if it was me, if I was somehow in some situation that was even close to this, I would not be doing nothing against Pronsis. I like Pronsis. I would not be doing anything with one of the guys that hosts their fucking late night show. It'd be on site, bro. Like, fuck that. Like, it's so crazy that I don't know. I would never.
A little naive.
It definitely would have been a more softball interview. Look at this comment.
Obviously, the type to like confess to a murder to the good cop. I mean, it's crazy.
Hell yeah, Mario.
So like, yeah, so hold on. So Ava, didn't Ben, because I was watching one of these streams where it was like one of those VC recordings, and it was about like how he was talking to you about how like you should have goaded OPC for money for like whatever podcast, right? Like, and you said at the time like you would have felt bad. Do you feel bad still? Like, wouldn't you have like goaded him in hindsight, or?
Dude, I even feel weird doing. I mean, I even felt weird asking Ben to send me money when I was trolling him, and I don't know why. It's like, it's just like, I just feel bad. Like, like I feel like I don't know, and maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I feel like I would probably feel a little bit less bad, but I mean at this point, like it's just not gonna happen after this interview, anyways. But
oh no, girl, you burnt the bridge with OPC. Why aren't you crying? Feel worse. Come on, he's a great guy.
Stop.
He loved you.
It was not that bad of an interview. Like, I mean, I didn't see the whole thing. I think I saw the majority of it though, but it wasn't that bad. Like, I honestly did not think that he would just leave panel when Tenderman like entered the stream. Like, but it wasn't like that bad or like people chastising him. Really,
it was definitely tough. Yeah, like it's like you made him confront some things he probably didn't want to confront. But yeah, it wasn't like you were being like Doki Eater.
No, yeah.
But I think the OPC is like I think the reason why I would feel bad is because I wouldn't be the person to like. I feel like I wouldn't have the right to subject him to like my revenge or something if it's not personal with me.
So you hate Ben a lot more than OPC, but you would rather sleep with Ben over OPC.
That was obviously that was obviously a joke,
No, I'm right. I'm dead ass. Yeah, she's coping. Yikes. Ben Bros, back up, okay? You don't need to wash your clothes yet. You got a bitch. Oh my god, that's crazy. But I mean, okay, so back to OPC. Yeah, so he's gonna come back sooner or later. I've seen him in the chat, but now I kind of like got him in my little trap there. Not a trap, by the way, but it's like, okay, let's let him talk a little bit. And I guess he got nervous over a Discord troll. Like, okay, it's some British guy's gonna make fun of you for having shit on your face. I mean, at the same time, you have to consider like, okay, well, I mean, like, why do a bit where you're gonna have like donut frosting on your face in the first place? In the context of fixing a toilet. I wouldn't have signed up for that, but
people are really dumb.
Maybe OPC saw Spider-Man Elsa and like really got inspired. We don't know.
Spider-Man Elsa, dude, I forgot about.
I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, Lalo, would you do that? Like, would you feel okay?
No. Scat on my face is a joke.
No, hustling him for money.
If I were you, I wouldn't care.
Ava likes skinny white guys who look like they play in bands in Nana's garage. No, not true. Wait, what was your answer? Yes?
Oh, no. I said I wouldn't feel bad. And you were like,
bad.
Yeah, you were like, oh, I would feel horrible. Feel horrible. He's a great guy.
Just because I don't think that somebody is a good person, I don't think it means I should double down and go and like hustle them for money if they've done nothing to me. I feel like
people hustle money. People, especially women on the internet. I mean, men too. They all hustle for money. You know, they treat people that subscribe to them, to their Patreons, or donate to them better than they would treat other people in the chat. I mean, that's just like a reality.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it's that weird.
I think it's one thing to be like under false
unless you're like putting stuff out there that like you want to fuck them or something like that, right? And you're doing like a soft form of like sex work, in my opinion. But if you're not doing that, then who cares?
I feel like that would be the thing of like, oh, if I told him like I want to fly out to see you, like that would be implied that I'd feel like I'm scamming.
Yeah, that'd be pretty fucked up. I agree.
Yeah, like I don't know. And it was just like, oh, let's fly out to hang out. Like, I mean, if OPC did something like deliberately evil, then I would feel differently.
You talk so slow. Okay. Would you rather?
I'm like, I'm conflicted on it. I feel like I'm trying to choose my words carefully.
With OPC, really? What the fuck is this? Okay, it's not the Supreme Court. It's fine. Okay, great. Now,
Lalo, how do you have all of these fucking questions like just simmering? You follow all of this stuff even more closely than I do.
He does it on the fly. Lalo does it on the fly.
Yeah, it's not hard, but type shit. All right. So anyway, Ava, so you're conflicted about OPC. You viscerally hate Ben Moore. You like Ben Moore, though. We all have this established. Now, whatever. I'm not going to expound upon that, as it's gross for me to even think about. But so would you rather, now this is just a question, would you rather spend a weekend in Maine and do IRL content with OPC, or spend a weekend doing IRL content like Ruby did with that gay Star Trek guy with both of the Thorps?
Neither. I would like,
that was so gay. Like, what the fuck am I gonna do with that?
Hot take.
Oh my god, guys, I hate it. It's like I'm not conflicted about OPC. I'm conflicted about whether or not I would scam him, to be very clear. But okay, if I had to choose, I think that I would choose the Thorps, because then I could do something sneaky.
That's a cope. Okay, let's say you couldn't play a prank on them, though.
No, I would choose the Thorps.
Okay. OPC, stop. No, he gave you like $20 2 weeks ago.
I could put a recording device in the RV.
Lalo, so we have Foreman and OPC now that have interacted with Grace, and Ben's done some weird humiliation ritual. Did anything happen while you were with them that was weird at all?
No.
Oh, okay.
So you didn't have any opportunity to like confront Ben?
He was kind of like he was pretty low key in DC. Like, he wasn't really doing anything. He was kind of like
not going to confront them in person. I don't think anybody that I mean, I wouldn't stream with them, so I wouldn't be put in that position. But anybody that's going to go meet them isn't going to do that, because they're obviously just going to try to crush you. That's what they do. You know, I don't know. Fuck you over or something if you fucking try to, you know, confront them about anything, really.
No, I'm just saying in my circumstance, he didn't really do anything like that was crazy. He was.
Do they have dirt on you, Lalo?
No. So
other than
it's kind of more so.
Rip?
What? The bong
Other
rip?
than just, yeah.
That wasn't really dirt. That was just like a really unfortunate circumstance that I wasn't prepared for. That was just fucking terrible, but wasn't a big deal in the grand scheme of things. But anyway, OPC, I mean, with him, he had an opportunity to say like, oh wow, the skinny dipping is kind of weird. And it's an awkward situation, I understand, because he wanted to probably see her skinny dip, but it's also like her dad telling her to do it. And like, you're the same age as the dad too, so it's like even worse. So like, I would blow my brains out if I were in that awkward position, but you have a chat pulled up.
Yeah, this is funny. Lalo, would you rather stream in an RV with Ruby through 7 states, or rip the bong in Mike's grandma's basement on stream an additional time?
I do the latter, because I would have just fallen asleep in hindsight. I felt like if I had, because the high was so bad that like if I like stopped fighting it for 5 seconds, I would have fallen asleep. I felt like I was gonna die, so I just kept on trying to like wake up over and over again. So I was freaking out, and so in hindsight, I would have just fallen asleep, and then Grace would have, without me, she would have ended the stream like in 5 minutes, and then I would have just been fine. But instead, I caught myself that night, and I said, okay, well, actually, I'm gonna stay awake and fight the fucking bad trip. And that was awful. So even as a drug addict, you have no idea how hard that was, Ava. It was so bad. It was so
Dude,
bad.
I've actually had an experience super similar to that. Like,
no, it was worse.
The first time I ever hit a dab, dude. Oh my god. I couldn't even like sit normally. It's like everything went into manual mode.
No, you greened out a little bit. That's it, really.
It was. You know what? Fuck you. I don't even care. Keep this stream up for those of us who missed the first 3 hours. Yeah, there's not much in the first 3 hours. Woman, do you sleep? No, I'm literally about to try and fucking end this. I wanted to end this hours ago, and then fucking. How do you make that your entire screen? Yeah, there's Radio Foreman, guys. That's the guy that Grace met in Seattle. getting arrested for domestic violence.
Oh wait, hold on. Wait, Ava.
He tries to.
Would you rather sleep with Foreman or OPC?
Lalo, fuck you. I'm not giving anybody ammo with that question. I'm not giving anybody.
She's going Foreman. She's going Foreman. I already know it. Oh god. Oh, OPC. Let's go. Scat. Let's go.
That strong, pasty body of his.
Lalo, do you think OPC has a humiliation fetish?
No. You know, honestly, that's like that's like a, I don't know what to call it. It's like a white people thing. It's kind of like, oh, you have a humiliation. No, it isn't. It's just that people are willing to put up with shit when they don't feel like they have another option. And specific with OPC, doesn't mean he gets off on it. In fact, if anything, he gets off on the attention, not because he's humiliated, but just because it's the only attention he gets. That's a very important distinction that people like Ben don't understand, right? For instance, like, okay, oh, you get shit on, okay, but maybe that's the only reason why you're around. Like, for example, in the playground, some kid gets bullied, he comes back around. What else is he going to do? Like fucking touch a toad or something? So that's the important thing with OPC. He probably wants to be the king, but maybe he's not allowed to. So he's gonna play third fiddle for a girl that eats Burger King instead. And so, do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I understand your point, but it's like, of all things, and it was his idea, as I understand it too. It's like, of all things that he could have done to do some crazy thing, it's like, oh, I'm gonna like smear this and make it look like I have shit on my face. It's kind of odd to me. I don't know. Like, how does that even?
No, I think it was 40 chess. I think he was going viral. He genuinely thought it was going to be a viral moment. And so he's like, okay, well, if I go viral with Grace this time, then it'll override the whole like disgust she would have with having shit on my face theoretically. And so therefore OPC was going to magically kind of like flip things around. Again, algorithm being the kind of like Benedictine sort of like big boost he was going to get. And so like when you view it through that like 40 chess, maybe it would have worked in his head.
Okay.
What do you have to say to Rizzard? He says, I feel like Lalo has a humiliation fetish, to be honest, after that embarrassing IRL meetup he must do to continue to show his face online.
Well, I think it's the name of the game there is to Ava. Anyway, so their fucking face. Anyway, no, humiliation. I just think the whole thing is sort of I don't know if it's like a American thing, but it's kind of humiliation fetish. Very few people really have that. It's more so like you do something that's like really stupid at the time, but then you got to overcome it and then do what you're doing currently. And so kind of like whatever. Like I could literally shit my pants in public and then say like, okay, what am I not going to buy groceries anymore? So at that point, just got to do what you got to do. So it's whatever.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the stream. Sorry. Yep. Thanks for coming up. Okay, get the fuck out, Darius.
Ava, wait a minute.
Thanks for carrying this shit. Appreciate you.
Wait, hold on a second. Okay. I missed the first 3 hours of the stream. It was just you on like the John Gold sort of shit, right?
Pretty much.
Okay. So for the record, OPC still do the interview with Process. We still want the content. Kid gloves, you're gonna have fun, okay? Get in the ring. Yeah. Get in the ring with the kid gloves. We're gonna love it.
This was the hardball one. That one's gonna be softball. It'll be more like a therapy 100%. Session. It'll be like a therapy session, you know.
All right. Adios.
All right. Ava needs a fucking cigarette and sleep. Okay. Oh my god, I have to go buy a mattress at like 10 a.m. tomorrow. Do you guys know how early that is for me now with streaming on a panel in a few weeks? What? Me and you? You have to go buy a mattress for car camping. I'm so fucking excited. It's me, gross. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. Yeah, still tune in to the Process interview and have a beautiful fucking night, you sexy fucking bastards. Even though most of you are actually probably ugly incels. I know there's a few sexy bastards in here, so good night to you.